is equally skilled in both stealth and intimidation.
You do not see me.
Literally, if his stealth checks would fail, he would glare at the thing that's set up and be like, "You know, see crotch."
It's that
There we go. You're right.
it's that Batman meme.
Yeah.
Where the henchman sees Batman and just walks away.
Yeah.
It's like, did you see any there?
Nope.
Nope.
Smartest
Person
in Gotham.
ever.
We're all set, so we're gonna get started here. You were waking up. You were 2 days of travel out from Stillburn. You were waking up in the comfort of a very fine inn that was comped to you thanks to your Lady Penelope.
Oh, that's right.
She was traveling from Stillburn to Zoc, and due to her horses getting attacked by a bee swarm, her cart ran off the road, taking her along with it, and for a short period of time, her arm.
Michael lost his shit when he got to that point. Like, I was upstairs in my room chilling. All of a sudden, I hear him start dying.
That's amazing.
Especially when when fucking Gray said, "Have you seen her arm?"
I'm sure that would have been Sparky's reaction had he been at the table.
Oh yeah, because he wasn't there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just remembering. Okay. So yeah, that happened.
It's Tuesday.
There we go. Okay. So, is it Tuesday? I thought it was Wednesday.
No.
Because you've
Yesterday
had
was Monday.
3 nights on the road.
Yeah, so
It's
next
Saturday.
Monday. Tuesday.
Okay. I thought Monday was your last day in
So I
Zod.
didn't say it.
I'll trust you. Right?
Monday we went to alchemy training, and then I got room info, and then we went to the GUR, and then we
Traveled for a day.
I didn't write down the different days. Got it. You're right. Travel day 1 would have been Monday, Sunday,
Should be Wednesday morning.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Monday night, Tuesday night,
No, 'cause
Wednesday night. Oh, it's
It's
Thursday.
Thursday. It's Thursday.
Thursday.
We
Thursday.
were both wrong.
Yep.
In varying degrees.
Thursday morning. You have 2 nights left on the road, basically.
Yeah.
And at which point you'll be all set. You're traveling on the GUR, which is the Grand Empire Roadway. Official name is Grand Eldritch Roadway, but either one works. And
Just
you're
Eldritch tips.
okay. Sounds good.
No, it's the 4th. I lied.
Okay.
It's the 4th in real life and
Hmm?
just different months.
Actually, it is the 4th.
You're correct.
You guys are starting first thing in the morning, Thursday. Lady Penelope has already left. She got a ride with an early coach, express coach, that will make it back to Stillburn a little ahead of you guys. Given that her cart is now a wreck on the side of the road.
Yeah.
But she did leave a note with the innkeeper.
Ooh.
Ooh.
We go investigate the note that's with the innkeeper.
Oh, okay.
I'm
As you
assuming
wake
the
up,
note was for us.
there it is. Basically, the innkeeper flags you down. It's a rather nice establishment, by the way. Excuse me. You, Lady Penelope has left you a note.
Oh, right.
Oh.
What's it say?
Oh.
And he produces it. The note says, it's basically a thank you letter, saying thank you for your help and we highly appreciate it. No. What it does is, write is, please, when you get to Stillburn, please have a night on myself. There'll be one waiting for you at an inn there.
Oh, okay. Does it name a particular inn or just?
It does.
Okay.
But basically you have a free night stay for all of you there when you get there.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
And,
Keep making
she's
fucking
left
liberty.
for your taking if you want it, her 4 horses. They to be returned to her when they get back, but she basically said, I can't take these back right now. If you would like to bring them back, feel free. They're good horses, they're well trained.
Oh, so we would just be bringing them to.
Yes.
We're taking them to town for her because she's.
We can handle horses
Yeah.
for 2 days.
Mhm.
We have plenty of vegetables.
Well, it would technically also increase your speed.
Oh yeah, that's.
So we can just tie them up to the cart.
Sell the horses, never see her again.
Just
Got it.
pass the town.
Easy.
Best 200 gold you've ever made.
Yeah.
The Canadian way.
I was like, I'm gonna
How
put-
else is an adventurer supposed to make money?
My adventure.
I need to buy bags for all this platinum I have.
That's a very adventurous thing to do.
So yeah, you're welcome to have them. If you do take them, it will take your travel time to the next inn from a full day's travel of 8 hours to 5.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Because using Roger goes at fundamentally half
Yeah.
speed, but it's half speed he can't be tired from, because it's just him pulling the big heavy wagon.
Also,
Yeah.
the Zephyr beds.
Yes, they just keep him from being tired.
He's still
Yeah.
one horse doing 4 horses' jobs.
He is a moose. How dare you disrespect my boy?
The point is, this
I'm gonna do that.
you're not
Roger,
going quite.
trample.
You're not going quite double as fast, but you're efficiently moving.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Roger can just easily make pace beside, or you can dismiss him. I will say when you dismiss him, he takes the bands with him, so you don't have to reapply them every time.
Gunmar will just kind of ride with Roger, like right on top of him.
Okay. I will say at this speed, Tanner will have a hard time. He can't really walk. You would be
Tanner's been doing disguise kid stuff on the wagon.
okay. Just letting you know, when Roger does it, he's actually going slow enough that you actually can walk with him, and it's not a big deal. But Roger goes half speed.
The water kind of sparkled all over him.
Sometimes.
So, first thing in the morning, if you would like, you may take the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
All right. She did provide the girdling,
Bridling?
bridling. It's bridles and girdles. It's both of them. What's up?
No, you're busy.
I know. I am busy.
No, there's things in. You could help, but
Not right now.
Okay. 10 minutes.
I
we
mean-
could've.
No, we're just going to continue with it. We are going to, Vanya, does Vanya know mending?
Yes.
Okay,
I think so. Sadie's brought it up before.
I believe you have access to her character sheet.
I have access to everyone's character sheet.
What's
so-
in the binder?
Yes, please grab that. You're at a far better angle.
I would have liked to see you suffer, but nah. I don't want that to fall down
Yeah.
because its wing
Let's
is also
not
right
break
next to that.
Tiamat
Hmm?
or anything else up there.
I mean, I'm down for breaking Tiamat. It's not that Tiamat.
Ammo.
they have them on like sales. So
20 arrows is a gold. Spells. Mold Earth, Control Flames, and Druidcraft.
Okay. I know she's brought it up before, but I don't remember if that was
On here, she's
before-
got Shillelagh, Molders, and Druidcraft.
She's changed them out after leveling up a couple times.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't remember.
I know she definitely has Mold Earth. She uses that constantly.
Yeah.
And she's recently used Control Flames, so
Oh.
those two are guaranteed. And she uses Druidcraft daily.
Yeah,
That's how
she
she
uses
keeps her
Druidcraft all
plants
the
alive. So no, I think this one's up to date. So, she doesn't have it, but it's easy enough to, using the toolkit you have in your cart, spending a little bit of gold there, to mend the broken parts and to rig up your cart with the existing bridle and girdle set with the stuff that's in your cart to attach it. It would take about 5 golds worth of materials.
That's
Okay.
Do either of you have access to Sparky's character sheet?
No. I don't think I do. Unless it's public. Unless it's like public.
Well, because I know Michael has written down the cart fund somewhere on his sheet. Because he always adjusts it with his phone.
I can bring it up, and if it's something as simple as that I can do.
I think he might just have an item in his inventory called party funds.
He might.
Michael, when you listen to this, the sort of intermission is what happens when you don't tell us where the money is.
Where's the fuck
fucking money.
We ain't Sparky upside down by his ankles.
I could call him and just all of us simultaneously yell, "Where's the fucking money?"
He's busy. He's sick.
Here's the party funds.
I cannot edit his profile, so I would not.
I got it.
Yeah.
You currently have $200. It's now going to go $195.
200 in the party fund?
No, for the cart fund.
Oh yeah, cart fund.
Yeah, cart fund is lower.
I also have your party funds. He does.
That is more than 200.
That's
That's why he's been embezzling. What a way for us to figure out.
Did it not take?
No, it did. It just I looked down again and just API broke. Like I didn't touch you. Thank you, Dan Beyond. Point being, you guys are ready to head out anytime.
Yeah.
You can go later or earlier, but you're welcome to go at any time. The second you head out, though, I'll have somebody roll some dice.
I don't think there's any point of
I
saying
go.
right?
No,
You
I don't think so.
Not really. I haven't been
There
putting a
are
lot
2
of
days. You
emphasis.
can both roll for one of them.
Gotten exactly what I want out of you.
Oh, jeez. That's 40.
Yep, 40.
40.
Weird.
Oh,
Another cart that got stung by bees.
Oh no.
This time her leg is missing.
Oh no.
And it wasn't before. It's the same woman.
That'd be wild.
no. Down the road, you continue it in a pretty early in the morning. Once again, you're past the hump, so the last day and this day will probably be the technically least populated as people go out. You've just hit the middle point basically between the two cities. It should now get more and more populated. Very quickly as you head out at about 11 p.m. if you left around 8 or 9. You see 2 halflings coming up the road on ponies.
Okay.
They're dressed as artisans, laborers. You can see their ponies have packs on them, and out of them you can see picks, hammers, carpentry tools, masonry tools, other various things, as well as just tools in general littered upon their person. As you approach, you can stop and make general conversation and learn about a couple things, or you can continue moving on.
I feel like Sparky would at least say hi.
Yeah.
Hello!
Hello! Good morrow! How are you this fine day?
We're alright.
Doing alright.
Doing alright?
Excellent,
There's something
excellent.
wrong with my throat.
How has the road been today?
Quiet so far.
That's good to hear.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to cut you
No,
off.
it's fine.
Are you headed over to Stillburn?
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Alright. What is your plan? Do you look for work?
Kinda. We're just going from place to place. I need to get my my lightning rod fucking repaired. I said I was sorry.
I'm good for 4 hours of this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we're headed south. We won't be stopping in Stuvern. We're heading further on afterward.
Oh, I see. Well, if you have the time, there's a couple magic shops there that could probably help you.
Yeah?
Good. We can afford to stay for that, yeah.
Well, other than that, it's a smart move not to move too quickly,
Yeah.
But if you're looking for work, it's a bit of a hard area right now.
No.
So, hopefully you'll get something you need.
Wait.
Really? Well, what kind of work?
Yeah. Area.
What's going on, Leo?
Well, if you're a craftsman, there's more work to be done that can be filled at the moment.
Interesting. They building something down there?
Oh, it's the industrial hub of the empire. So, they make just about anything major there.
Sparky's eyes light up.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, the fucking kobold's there and he's not here.
But for us carpenters and masonry workers, they have their foundations all nice and set. But Zock's a booming town, so we're heading on.
Yeah, good people up in Zoc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Just
good
came
to
from.
Oh, that's good to hear. we've had a couple good years over in Stuhlburn, so hope you stay some time there. It's a good place.
How's Strawberry urine? I need to see it. Where's the map?
I legitimately, it's whatever word you say.
Urine.
It's true. Urine.
Stub urine.
Stuhlburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm.
How's stub urine for adventurers?
Oh!
We're not merchants. We are adventurers.
Oh, I see.
Despite
Okay.
how it may look, and he just kind of gestures to the top of the cart.
How else do we look?
We might look like merchants. We got a lot of.
We look like glorified merchants, Darwin.
A lot of merchants have the name of the business printed on the side. You don't really look like merchants,
Ours says Dragonborn.
which is very nice. But like, you guys don't really look like merchants.
No.
I will say right now, especially in
I
armor.
can't keep the premises, so the guy Rockland can take a piss.
Okay.
Damn, they're gone.
Well, adventures. There's always probably work in the Ventures Guild. Oh, actually, there's probably quite a bit of work. I gotta say. Though one isn't handled by the King's Armed is few and far between and pretty extreme. So, unless you're willing to take some risks, a lot of the minor stuff is taken care of, given that the fort's there and all that.
Brick pays well.
What kind of fort?
Oh, Fort. It does. Fort Trotta. Trotta. Fort Trotta. Trotta. Yeah, it's been there from, gosh, over 1,000 years now.
That's a long time.
Yeah, and it's the main hub of the King's Arm here at the Eastern Empire. It's ran by General Johann Becker. Brecker. B-R-E-C-H-E-R.
Did you know Becker?
We might know a Becker.
This is new, so if you guys know something I don't, please let me know.
Well, no, we might know a Becker, not a Brecker.
Okay. I don't remember making a Becker.
Hang on, there's a lot of names to go through.
We know a beaker.
Do we know a Beaker?
We do know a beaker.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Glenn Beaker.
Yeah.
Beaker's his is
that
his
could be what I'm thinking.
okay.
Nickname.
Beaker. Yeah, Beaker is his tiefling name,
Yeah.
which is more of a moniker or an
Yeah.
emblem.
It's a nickname.
Like I'm Goob.
More culturally heavy than that.
Like how I'm Goob.
Title.
Something like that. It could be a title. It could be like what you're good at. It could be a defining feature. It's this thing that's intimately tied with your personality, but also can be tied with your morals and other things. It says a lot about you, and so it's a name that holds a lot of weight. It's to mimic the weight of a true name, something that devils covetly covet. But a true name gives you control over a devil, which is why they never give it out. So to mimic that kind of culturalist power, you have a tiefling name. It's a name that is to represent you.
Your false true name.
False tree. It's probably what some people call it.
But yeah, General Johanna Brecker, he's been there for a couple decades here now. He runs a tight ship from what I understand, though I've never been to the fort myself. But you'll be able to see it. Sits on the bluffs just at the end of the peninsula.
Interesting. I might check it out.
I don't think they really give tours, but if anything's making a rumble they don't want to risk King's Arms on, if you're capable, I'm sure they'll have work for you that's up to your league.
Probably.
I call ourselves capable.
Other than that, though, if you ever any craftsmen or know anybody, the machine shops are always looking for hires and such. Though I gotta admit, most of your paycheck will go to rent. It's not a cheap place to live.
Alright.
Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah.
Well, welcome.
Goodbye!
All
Safe
right.
travels to Zok.
You as well. Enjoy. Yep. Their ponies just go.
Oh, and then I looked it up. If we're feeding the horses off of the crap that we have, they eat like 10 pounds a day.
Good. We have way too many vegetables. They'll go bad.
So we're just feeding the horses a bunch of corn.
The horses and Roger. That's where it's all gonna go.
Roger's getting
I'll eat some.
the carrots.
You guys have been eating vegetables for
A
ages.
while.
I mean,
It's all root it's long-lasting root
Well,
vegetables.
just lots of veggie stews.
Oh, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks to your new horses, you get there in 5 hours, meaning that you get in around 3 p.m. just after lunch.
Got like a whole day to spend.
Well, just about. If you would like to spend like 7 hours or so.
Does that mean if we wanted to, we could push it and get to Screwgrin today, or no?
With these horses, you'd be doing a forced march after 3 more hours.
Okay.
And
So
horses,
possible, but not necessary.
it'd be actually quite risky.
Oh, okay.
Because Stillburn's another full day and night away.
Oh, okay.
You would have a hard time getting to the next full days in.
Got it.
Because you would be technically forced marching for at least 3 of those hours.
Okay.
And each forced march requires a roll per horse, and the consequences for them are pretty high.
Got it. No worries.
Just on a mechanical level. Honestly, probably totally could. But we're gonna go by D&D
I'm about
mechanics.
to make a 4
We're not
horses
rushing,
make
so
a,
there's no point.
no, I'm about to make them make a dozen con saves because once like one fails 2, our speed gets cut in half.
Oh yeah, let's make this complicated.
Let's make glue.
Oh, this reminds me of like the scene in Rango, which is like, all right, everybody listen up. Here's where it gets complicated.
I've not seen Rango.
It's great. It's very, very good. At one point, he's claiming to be a gunslinger. The main character is, and he says like, I killed all of the Johnson brothers with 1 bullet. I'm like, wow, all 13 of them? And he
It
goes
was a
like,
good bullet.
yeah. It's like, all right. He's like, how did you do that? And
With a
then
hollow
quiets
point,
everybody
force
down
range.
and just goes like, all right, this is where it gets complicated. And then it cuts back to him like a couple scenes later and finishing up, and it's just like, all right, technically 1 bullet caused all that, and it was great. One died of sepsis though.
That's funny.
Anyway, but yeah, you guys got a good 7. If you want to have an early night, a good 5 hours. But that will make you, like, god damn it, that will wake you at 4 a.m.
Nah.
So a normal day, 7 hours.
Fundamentally, yeah, I'm gonna give you 7 hours.
Cool.
Of do whatever you want.
I'm gonna spend 5 hours to make a compact assassin's blood.
Oh, when do you guys want to sleep?
The good room.
Alright, that was 10 gold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you
It's 10 gold per room. How many rooms are you having?
I think as far as you can get around.
Yeah.
Vanya will sleep out into the meadows.
Yeah,
As she normally does.
So we do like 3 rooms usually.
I'm at 65 hours.
Okay. Something good. Actually, that happens during the day. That's interesting.
Because 5 hours takes me to 65.
Cool. You did it while traveling, so like, you got it like at like 3 or 2.
Probably.
Okay. Well, fundamentally, you got it before you entered town.
Shortly before entering town, yeah.
Okay. I can let you know what happens, but I can also let you know. Do you want everyone at the table to know, kind of like how Sparky is and stuff like that?
That should
Well, basically,
be,
are you
it's
going to
the
be
disguise
sharing?
kit stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that should be fine.
All right. Well.
As I've been doing it in view of everyone.
All right. As you hit the 64-hour mark, you really spent a long time with this
Got a
book.
long
You have used up most of the resources of the disguise kit, given that you took off Theory.
Okay.
Theory had a very compact, portable one, used for someone of his stature, size, and he knew how to stretch it. The book that you've been training off of is actually, as I mentioned before, it's a book of clown makeup.
Yep. Yep, that's the thing.
But it very much has the information that you need. It's how to contour, shadow, shade, figure out has a whole thing on color theory. And it basically, normally what it touches you is like, this is how you make a tiger and stuff like that, or how to make very realistic makeup and also stage makeup. But you can apply the same stuff to yourself to initiate disguises. It also tells you how to make props and stuff like that. So,
Yes, Tinkerer's tools, my next proficiency.
It's like one of those bits like, how do you look normal when you got like a bright light underneath you on the stage?
Yeah, right.
and other things like that. But it talks about the 1 foot, 5 foot, 30 foot rule. So like looking good at like passport 30 feet, passport 5, passport 1. and like different things, you need to do different things to pass a different spot. Like 1 foot material, 1 foot makeup won't necessarily pass without exaggeration at 30 feet.
Yeah. It's too far away.
Anyway, so it goes through all that, and you've now read this book a couple times and have used up all of the disguise kit materials theory left you. You now have a good understanding of disguises for yourself.
Okay.
And can now, once you get a new disguise kit, we'll be able to apply it with your proficiency to yourself to basically pass off as somebody else.
Okay.
Allowing you to basically, you'll be doing deception checks with proficiency
Yeah.
to pass off as somebody else in look alone.
Gotcha.
So you'll be able to make yourself up to look like somebody else.
Right.
But for all intents and purposes, about making you or someone else look like somebody else, you can now accomplish.
Cool.
The other aspects of a disguise kit, forgeries, faking identities, how you walk, act, how you voice, those are still beyond you.
I'm
But-
already proficient in a forgery kit.
So, okay, that's awesome.
All right, we can now rob a bank and add bills to it.
The
Right,
other
let's go back
half
to Richmond.
of disguising yourself is the walk, the talk, and stuff like that. So as long as you don't need to talk,
Right.
or like act a certain way, you can at least make yourself up to be somebody else. But if you would find a book on maybe acting, and spend some time with that, you'll get the second half of this proficiency, allowing
Okay.
you to really take off. But as long as you stick in situations that are narrow, that just require you to look different, you or somebody else, because you can make up somebody else, you should be okay.
Okay.
We're just
So-
putting Tanner through impromptu theater school.
Hello. Yes, we don't have a bard, so how's about a rogue?
But very much, you basically, it's kind of like your boots. You can use them
Gotcha.
if they would come into play.
Gotcha.
But the second I make you talk or something like that, all bets are off.
Right. I would still presumably make a deception check.
Oh, God, yeah,
Not
no.
without the.
Yeah.
Just
You
without
want to
the-
add your proficiency, though. Unless you're proficient in perception. Deception.
Am I? No.
I am. Disguise Gunmar to be a halfling.
I will
there's-
say you can't do magic.
There's only so much that a disguise kit can do.
Just a little over half is halfling.
Less than the alter self spell.
But yeah, you have a good understanding of the makeup and
The
physical
visual version
of disguising.
Cool.
And you can disguise yourself or someone else. You will need to buy a new disguise kit. You used up all of it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also, Theories was, as I mentioned, small, compact, made for him. It only went so far.
Gotcha.
But congratulations, you can add that proficiency with an asterisk to your... There may not be a way to add an asterisk, so just keep that in mind.
I'm gonna do it on what's it called, the computer
Okay.
instead of the
You can
app.
also just add like custom tool proficiencies.
Yeah, I might do that. Yeah.
But yeah, you have a good understanding of disguising now.
I did. Okay.
That happens before you guys hit the next big town. So you're welcome to explain that to your group now.
I mean,
Because I've not seen any of this.
yeah, you've been driving, but anyone who's in the cart has seen Tanner just
I think that
carrying
Gunmar's
through
been.
this book.
I think that Gunmar's been bringing up the rear, but that's it.
I occasionally just hear like something clink and you curse.
I get this wrong every time. Our wagon is enclosed, correct?
Yeah.
So Gunmar in the back riding Roger cannot see inside.
Now,
So
unless you have the door open.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably.
I mean, which you can, but there's no
Yeah.
reason to.
That's up to the people inside.
There's no reason to.
I'm sitting on top
It just kind of goes
with my bees.
Sparky's on the inside. A lot.
Yeah.
I'm in my hammock a lot.
So you, Spark, and Sparky have probably seen Tanner just tearing through this book.
I would say everyone has certain points, just they've
Right,
spent
right.
the time. Yeah.
There's not the hours and hours and hours of travel.
Oh, Vanya's in the back as well, but she's been working on potions.
Yeah.
She's got this little folding table set up.
Oh. That's fun.
Or actually, at least 2 pounds, right?
Sure. Well, you've
Yeah.
got a lot of food, and if it's too much, it's too much.
No, I'm just thinking because like I know we measured it out in terms of number of days worth of food, which I think our ration is 2 pounds, which means that effectively a horse eats 5 rations a day. In 2 days, the horses would eat 80
Yes.
pounds, which would be 40 rations worth. Or,
Man, it's a good thing we picked up all this.
You did it!
I would say a lot of the time you just graze them as you go. The meadows and stuff like that allow them to eat.
Yeah, rations are cute.
And we're just spoiling these horses because what else are we going to do with all these potatoes?
Exactly.
Honestly, it's really nice, but it is messing up with the digestive system. Too long on those ones would make them very gassy.
Make
Yeah,
mashed potatoes.
a day and a half will kill them.
Fill the bento box.
We're having a lot of veggie-based dishes, like for lunches and stuff.
Never knew you could make potatoes 5 different ways.
Tanner did.
Only 5?
Only 5. There were
Yeah, that was
multiple
actually a
ways.
bit of a low mark. But anyway,
The mistake was choosing potatoes.
you now have proficiency to a degree in Disguise Kit. You
Cool.
can share that with the team.
I now have a proficiency to a degree in this guy's kit.
Nice. So what's the degree to?
Bachelor's.
This would be an associate's degree, I'm sorry.
I don't know what either of those things are.
An associate is someone you're kind of close with.
Bachelors aren't married yet.
Yeah. We're bachelors. Well,
You're a bachelor.
Okay. Would I have the understanding to be able to create a disguise kit from disparate parts, or not yet? Because I'm assuming a disguise kit is restricted, but I can't find it on the list.
Oh, it's not restricted.
Oh, okay. I still can't find it on the list, but okay.
Oh no, it's
That's
a kit.
just magic items.
Those are magic items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's why I can't
yeah.
find it on the list.
no, the Disguise Kit is just a kit. I
Cool.
think it's 25 gold or 45 gold.
Something like
The
that.
kits
I think
are
it's
oddly
25, yeah.
expensive. But yeah, they technically never run out.
Yeah.
So it's a
It does
one-time
come with
fee.
some costumes, the actual disguise kit.
Yeah. So, you guys continue on, and by 4 o'clock, and you with your new proficiency are in this next major town.
Wow.
It's like in the middle of the afternoon, still kind of during the average working day, so people are busy. And you're only 2 days, you're a night, 2 days and a night away from Shulburn. And so you're starting to see more of its influence. Here are the edges of its fighters. You can see that a lot of the carts now filled with food and such like that, a lot of the raw materials are funneling one direction, and a lot of processed materials are coming the other way. So you're seeing carts going in with big old bags of grain and coming out or making their way through Zark to Zark or other towns with bags of flour.
Nice.
Yep. On top of that, you're seeing all kinds of other things. All kinds of finished goods, from chairs and furnitures to just generic carts that more like box trucks that can carry anything, but are traditionally not used to carry like livestock or hay or grains or something. Those are usually actually purpose built. Like a hay wagon is a hay wagon. These are just generic like wagons, and they have different names on them, like so and so's transport, such and such exporting, international bureaus, moving of goods, mercantilism, business with truck,
Business with truck.
or wagon, I would say. 2 gnomes in a wagon. You see them every once in a while. They've been franchising.
But do they get the farmer exemption?
No, they get transportation for hire exemptions.
Oh, okay.
They try to get the farmer exemption.
Where they yell at them like you're using the long form. You're not a farmer.
This was the whole thing after you left.
This is
Taxes.
anyway. Do your taxes,
I just have to hit submit.
we should probably start looking around for Lady Penelope. She's here already.
Oh, she's gone.
It's a
She's in Stuburn.
she's
waiting
in
for us.
Steelboard.
Oh, right. I jumped towns. My bad.
Okay.
It's alright.
The
If you-
hotel place.
You guys get a whole day, but we can fast track if you like. There's not a lot going on in this town. It is a town, though. to the extent that it's quite populous. It has, blacksmiths, stables, liveries. Oh, speaking of livery, that was the word I was
Oh yeah,
looking
you
for.
looked it up. Yeah.
Mike looked it up. He finally found it.
Oh, that's better.
And then you found it in like a Terry Pratchett thing or something.
I looked it up and found it, and then I re-found it back in Terry Pratchett because that's where I first heard
In
it.
the thing that you read, yeah.
Yeah. Livery is basically an old-timey car rental / parking.
Before cars.
Yeah. If you had a horse and just like, I don't have room for a horse in my city-dwelling townhouse, please keep my horse alive until I need it again. And so they would have that. And a livery stable would be near main gates, usually downwind, and all that other kind of things.
Of course it would be down.
Yep. But yeah, it's that's livery was the word I was looking for.
Can we house the horses there for the night, or do they get housed at the inn?
They get housed at your place if you buy the expensive rooms at the inn.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a nominal fee, a couple copper per day.
Pay 5 gold to save 5 copper.
Can I buy a disguise kit here or no? Like in this town?
Maybe.
Would I roll for it? To, like, find
I
it?
would roll for it.
Okay. I'm rolling.
Normally, you'd need something like that, like you would need a metropolis, because they would have theaters or such.
Gotcha.
Basically places of the arts.
Okay.
And that's fundamentally where you would get a disguise kit.
Gotcha. Okay.
But who knows? Maybe this place has like a little art studio, or somebody has a general store that you can find enough bits and bobs to put it together. There are general stores here and stuff like that. If you needed rations
Great,
or
it's fine.
other things.
What am I rolling?
This would be technically a charisma persuasion check,
Okay.
as you're looking for an object to purchase.
10.
That's just enough.
Yeah.
It's a non-magical item.
Yeah.
This town does have one. There is a general shop just down the road.
I'm listening. I promise.
It's run by just a standard human. He looks like he trains mostly in farm goods, but he's got a whole section of a wall, I would say, that has kind of like unique things and things from the big city and stuff like that. Things he's probably ordered out of catalogs. And one of the things, he has about a set of 4 of them, are my first disguise kit kind of thing. It's not really it's more like, it's makeups. It's like heavy pots of like
Okay. Cool.
grease paints, makeups, fake mustaches, and stuff like that. But combine that with a few of the odds and ends he sells, and using the instructions in the books, you can make fake mustaches, fake wigs, all kinds of things. It doesn't come with any costumes though.
Okay.
But I've never liked the fact that like I have a disguise kit. It comes with this ball gown. It's like, where the fuck were you keeping that? In my pocket.
That's why it's so expensive for the ball gown.
So like the costumes are set, and also like
I remember the disguise kit that you guys found in Mad Mage. It was just like there's a whole bunch of vampire costumes in there.
comes with costumes. All 5 of them are vampires. Wow. Okay.
Good.
Are you okay?
Yep. I just like totally forgot that was still hot because it was in my thermos.
Oh, good job, thermos.
Whoa. Okay, I'll let that cool down. So yeah. How much is a disguise kit? Did you look it up?
No, I think it was 25.
I don't know. They are all over the
I was
place.
gonna say, would this one be cheaper without the costumes on it?
Well,
I'm gonna keep the price as is.
I was gonna say box standard. It's 25 gold.
If it is okay, this one's 25 gold as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's not just the one thing he's selling. You're putting it
Yeah,
together
Okay.
from all this general. Like, this has all the makeup and other things in it, the grease paints and stuff. But
It's like going to an art store and making an art kit.
yeah, because you also need different kinds of adhesives, which he has, fake furs
I
and
get some of
pens
that
and
spirit
stuff.
gum.
hmm And you're getting all that together, and luckily this place had it all.
Cool.
So putting it all together, because some of the stuff does not, they're not high volume items, so they're valued quite highly. So yeah, 25 gold.
Okay.
But you now have a disguise kit.
Cool. Back in my inventory, disguise kit. I shop. I don't know what everyone else is
Okay.
doing.
Anybody else have anything?
I got an error page and the code was 200.
I'm
200 is
just
success.
gonna go to my
successfully
room
errored.
and make the poison, like I said.
Okay.
Task failed
Easily done.
successfully.
Task succeeded unsuccessfully.
There's a beam down here.
Fuck yeah.
Sorry.
What kind of bean?
Probably black.
Black bean.
That's definitely braised.
Yeah.
I
He was,
mean-
he was having a time.
I'll try and get some hunting done.
Oh, okay. Give me a survival
I
check.
just kept seeing fucking rice pour out of it. Gilmore would like
Oh,
look
that's a
around the
22.
blacksmith, I guess.
Okay.
You wanna come show
You're
me
gonna go
here?
south to hit the southern forest and stuff like that. As you're getting closer to Strawburn, there's less. The forest is getting slightly further and further away.
He's
It's
going
a,
hunting?
mhm.
Yeah.
Gilmore will go with Darwin to continue.
Alright, let's go!
Darwin's leaving. Gunner's like, wait, Dad, I'm coming too.
Just shing-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Go ahead and roll survival. I'll say you find a small hamlet a little closer. So you're not in the southern Great Forests. You just go a couple miles down the road and find a small hamlet, which probably would have a few bits of game in it.
6.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
Plus 0 to
The
slow.
saga continues.
As you travel within it, you do see a number of pieces of game. You understand that the local rules are in the Empire, basically rabbits under a certain weight and something like that, and certain basically small mammal creatures do not have poaching laws on them. They are free for whoever wants to do them, but you can be charged for doing them in excess. You know what those rules are. They're for people who are like killing hundreds a day, like not what you're doing.
Large scale things.
Yeah. Deer and such like that can have poaching laws attached to them depending on the local board. So you're going after small game. Good news is there's a ton of small game. You easily find multiple rabbits and get 2 under your belt right off the bat. But as you find more things, groundhogs, more rabbits, various other things, Gunmar at this point, unfortunately, is breaking a lot of the. You know the things you taught him back at the Druids? He's not quite following those. He's breaking a lot of branches, missing a lot of shots. So you get, over the time period, you start off the day really good. You get 2 rabbits. And then over the next couple hours, you get 1 more.
Okay.
That was a successful hunt. Got 3 rabbits. And Gilmore is like very happy.
You, by the way, you got 3 rabbits.
Gilmore didn't help.
We'll work on this.
Okay. Anyway.
You make it back,
Yeah.
and dinner is served. If you would like, you can have them prepare the rabbits for you.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Alright, you hand them out. They make rabbit shank, as well as grilled rabbit. Rabbits don't have a lot of meat on them, and they require quite a bit of extras on them, because they're actually not too nutritionally varied. But they serve 3 of the rabbit shanks to you and 3 to Gunmar. The shank is the back part with some of the ribcage. They're
Great
served
call.
with a mint lemon sauce, some of your potatoes and carrots, or some of their potatoes and carrots, which are mashed and it's laid on top with the mint sauce, and the carrots are next to nice cuisine, and that's your main course. You also served a couple other side dishes, a small side salad. There's a corn stew, and for dessert, some sugared plums over custard.
We get a break
Alright.
from vegetables.
Woo! But yeah, you guys get the rabbit. Everyone else gets whatever was being served that day. Probably fish dish.
It's all vegetable soup.
All right. Well, you wake up.
Tanner is going to, that night, instead of going to the room with the group, is going to,
You mean with Beck?
yeah,
Okay.
instead of going to any of the group's rooms,
Oh, okay.
is going to go off somewhere unseen and try to disguise himself to look different.
Okay. Give me a roll. You add, it's a deception roll, but add your proficiency.
Yeah. And as part of that disguise, he's going to change back into his courier uniform that he has.
Okay.
You said deception?
Mm-hmm.
With my proficiency. I almost looked at my initiative bonus. Much different number. 21.
Okay. You go up to the counter at the end. There, standing, is a woman. Looks to be late 20s, early 30s. Tight bun hair. She looks like she's just getting on for her shift. Maybe been on for an hour. She looks like an innkeeper.
And I'm gonna look as tired and grumpy as possible.
Okay.
And just kind of flash the badge.
1 second. Sorry, I just need to see your badge one more time. Alright, I just need a name for the logbook.
Joseph
And?
Stillburn. Or no, not Stillburn. That's dumb. We wouldn't say that because that's the town we're going to.
Emperor.
Emperor. No,
Cruz.
Hollowstone.
Joseph Hollowstone. Badge number?
And I will rattle off the badge number of a friend that I knew.
Okay. Write that down. Alright, there's a couple more up there, but should we have a bed or two free?
Just go past.
It is to the side, so this is a fancy inn. There's the main staircase that goes up to the main rooms. You follow the marked signs that take you to the back of the inn, where there's a servant's staircase. Servant's staircase, if you don't know, usually in the back. They're usually very tight, very thin, and one person wide. They are usually meant to go either exclusively up or downstairs. So you're on the left-hand side. This one goes up. You head up, and you're in now the servants' area. It's actually quite nice, but it is very compact. This is a place for people to come, sleep, and rest. So the hallways aren't too big, the doorways aren't too big. There's saving space. You go down, and there are 2 rooms dedicated to couriers. They are marked on the outside. One has 2 people in it already. They are bunked beds. Each room can hold 4.
I'll take the empty one.
All right. The door is open as you walk by. You do get to see 2 humans in there. One kind of older, one kind of younger. And they just nod to you as you walk by.
Give him a nod. Go in the other room.
Cool.
And that's where Tana will spend the night.
Joseph.
It's Joseph Hollowstone. Definitely not a fake name.
There we go. Okay, I'm liking the meadows, but it doesn't.
Grace should not be allowed to make up names on the spot. It's not a good plan.
I mean, it worked.
Got DM flashbacks.
So, with that, you guys spend the night.
Yeah. 10 gold.
Unless you guys have anything else you want to do.
10 gold.
No, I
10
sleep
gold.
hard.
Hmm?
I sleep hard.
On the wood with a slab of granite as your blanket and sandstone as your pillow.
This is a weird room.
Where the fuck did you find sandstone?
It's themed. It's desert themed.
Now
Why
he's
was-
sleeping hard.
Why was this the expensive version?
Because they had to import all the desert theme.
Shit, no, you're right.
Reinforced it specially to hold on to
Expensive
stone.
doesn't necessarily mean good.
In the darkness, as Tanner falls asleep, he'll just kind of play with his badge.
Sure. You guys wake up bright and bushy-eyed in the morning because you guys had tons of time to go to bed anytime you want. But we'll say by 8 o'clock you were ready to head out again. They did serve breakfast, you ate, and you're ready to hit the morning traffic.
Is Tanner still disguised?
Tanner would have left the courier's room as if he was just leaving town, and then circled back undisguised.
Okay, you would have left around 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And so you go in that with that. You leave like 5 minutes before the other 2 people do.
Cool.
You instantly take off. Well, not instantly, but you do take off the disguise
Like
kit.
undisguised.
Yeah.
You do know that takes a bit. That's not just a single action kind of thing. Now, revealing yourself to like, this is a disguise, action.
Yeah.
Cleaning yourself to not look like I was
No,
just
this
disguised.
is full, like, this never happened.
Yep. That takes a minute or two. That
And
takes a bit.
I'm back into, I think I was wearing druid clothes when we came in as a group.
Okay,
I was wearing the druid, like, trousers and tunic that we bought.
cool.
Tanner has 3 outfits, and I can't remember the second
I
one.
kind of wanted to have a moment where it was like, you walk up to the cart still disguised. And I was like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, that's not happening.
So, you guys are now outside the inn. Your cart has been prepped for you. One of the perks of being at the good inn.
Cool.
It's kind of interesting because your horses are very nice and they match all the everybody's horses. Your cart is very much cheaper than all the other carts.
No one tells Sparky.
Well, all the other carts are carriages to start with, like with metal
one tells
suspension
Sparky.
and stuff like that. Very, very nice. Good suspension. The stuff you rode in on your way to Belfontaine's manor. But they can't hold as many people, and they don't hold as much luggage and stuff like that. You're driving a converted city bus, basically. It can hold 8, and with places for storage, and the roof comes off. It's quite nice and convenient. It actually is very versatile for what you need it for. It's just, also a bus.
It's the right vehicle for our job.
Yep. And it's not like untaken care of either. It got recently painted. It's got some new repairs on it. It looks good. It's well taken care of. It's also just not a filigree,
It's
beautiful.
a working vehicle.
It's just a bus.
It's like a,
I got a Ford sitting next to Lambos.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, work.
well, like an expensive Ford, like fully tricked out F-150. And you're just like, yeah, that's expensive. But I mean, like, it's the theme of the thing. Anyway, but yeah, you guys pick up on that and head out for the day.
It is Friday.
Whoa! Thank goodness.
We did a week.
Yay.
This is going to be your last day
Last
traveling. Tonight is going to be your last night on the road. At which point, tomorrow around 10 a.m. to noon, depending on how fast you're going, in this case 10, you will hit Stuhlburn. Who wants to roll?
You rolled
Gage-
last time.
Gage
and
wants to roll.
wanted to roll.
88.
Nice.
Way up there.
Whoop.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, it's a good one. I just kind of wish Vadia was here.
Oh,
Oh.
we're gonna have those moments.
As you travel on, midday comes and goes, and now it's about 1 p.m. It is busy. Fuck you too. So I mentioned I want to get new ones. It is a busy road. There's a lot of traffic on the road. You can't say not enough to be like you're going the speed of traffic, but there are all 4 lanes are being utilized. You guys are going on the standard pace lane. You can see expresses done with 2 to 4 horses, but much, much smaller carriages, usually carrying people or valuable items, booking it past you on the middle lane, far left lane. And you are passed pretty regularly going both directions. Especially with the side of the plains, you can see them coming and going for quite some distance, at least over a mile out. As you're traveling on, though, to your south, periodically there's meaderies, off-roads to little hamlets on both sides. You've had this small stretch of a little bit more openness, maybe a mile between any buildings. To your left, to the south, in the meadows, you do see a kind of an interesting sight. In one of the fields, in the middle of it, with a small dirt road going from the main gur all the way to it and beyond, you see a rather large tree. It's big, has a very wide base. You can see its branches, after a certain point, kind of immediately go horizontal, giving this beautiful canopy. It looks like it should be. It has an essence of grandeur and largeness inside of it. but it's only about 50 feet tall, which feels really tall, but like this thing, you look at this and this tree should be bigger. And it,
Mother tree.
Maybe.
when you get to the side road of it, that you could drive down and actually go towards it, it's only about 1,000 feet off into this field, and it does have a road going up to it. You can take a turn and go and check it out. I will say Vanya will insist.
Oh, if she wants to, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys turn down this small one-lane dirt road and make your way down to it. As you approach this tree, its similarities start to screed out to you. The bark patterns of it, the thickness of its trunk, the way that after a certain point, that's when it starts building branches, and the branches are thick, strong, and quite horizontal at the base. Almost kind of like a kid's drawing of a tree, almost like a mushroom as of a tree. As you get very, very close to it, you start seeing similarities to trees you have seen before. One living, one fallen. So this does look to be a young mother tree. How young, it's only Vanya might know.
Young's a relative term with trees.
Yeah. Young is a hard term with tree.
I will say, something different from this tree that you didn't quite get with the other ones is, even though it's young, because it's so much power in this small space, this small entity, mother tree, there's a humming coming from it. You can almost feel the power of nature being channeled and generated from this bulk tree. And it's like you can feel the potential in nature itself inside this tree, and you feel a little bit rejuvenated, a little bit like just excited by being merely in its presence and underneath its leaves.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Vanya, should this be here? Seems kind of random.
It's unusual. There's not a lot in the southern lands, but we are far from the Hearthwire Wars. Normally, a tree of this nature would have a tribe dedicated to it, and usually be quite well protected. To have one just out in the field like this is unusual. I don't know what that means, though.
Could we try to look for the druids or something?
Drops reported to the Four Druid Circle.
We could send a bug.
We could send a bug.
I don't think we can send a
Yeah,
bug.
actually,
We're really far away.
I don't have that much range.
Yeah, no, we'd have to tell somebody in Subaru, probably.
If they have any druid circles there, then hopefully they know who is taking care of this tree and, well, who it truly belongs to. It's quite young, from what I believe. It's, well, it's very young. So
Put it
hopefully-
in comparison to Darwin here.
It's younger than you.
I look at the tree, baby.
Darwin, we're all younger than
Darwin.
you.
Yeah, but I'm comparing myself to a tree here.
It's not the
It
weirdest.
changes things.
It's not the weirdest thing you've done.
No, in fact, it's rather a normal thing he's done.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a minute and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take all the time you need. If you need anything from else, just let us know.
sure. She goes to the base of the tree and puts her hands on it, and she starts doing a small chant. And you recognize bits of it because part of it is in the spellcasting components, somatic components for the casting of Druidcraft, the cantrip.
Nifty.
And she goes and continues, and the humming goes from a single whine to kind of an oscillation, and starts flowing with her voice a little bit. And for the next 5 minutes, she's at the base of the tree channeling, doing something very druidic. You can there's so much power here that even though you are non-druids and most of you non-magic users, you can almost see the power pulsating between her and the tree, and the tree begins to grow just ever so slightly. Over the next 5 minutes, it's really hard to tell, but as you pay attention, it grows about another 2 centimeters. Just as she is there channeling its power.
Huh.
And when she lets go of it, her dress has re-rooted itself to the ground, so as she pulls up a little bit of clumps of dirt and stuff, and her flower dress is in full bloom. And as she's coming back, she is looking a little bit stronger. This might not be permanent, but it was definitely something. And should something have come up, she might have had a little bit more power for today. But the tree is looking even bigger than it was. It's there.
Nifty.
So this tree is... What's a mother tree? It's in some ways simplistic looking. It's got oak-like bark, so kind of deep riveted and wavy. It's got the girth of an African savanna Empoleon tree? I forget.
I don't know the name.
I don't remember.
The barrel trees,
Yeah.
like the ones from it's got like that kind of girth, but the bark of an oak. But when it gets to its top, the first branches are numerous and thick, and all start roughly at the same spot, and all go exactly horizontal out, creating a very large covering canopy. A single tree will have almost its entire length in canopy going out from itself as a radius. At that point, it then kind of mushroom caps very evenly, like a prior one, across its top. And it's at this size, it is so much easier to see and comprehend. And you remember looking down from the mountain onto the old mother tree, the one that's ancient, and seeing that, like, you can see the similarities between the two. But this is a lot of power in a very small package. And so its energy's leaking a little bit. Around it, even in the shade, you can see that the meadowing flowers are not blooming. All of them are in bloom. And they're slightly thicker and stronger and a little bit bigger. This dirt path, you learn that when it's underneath this tree or near this tree, it's not dirt anymore. It's a type of moss that has grown over and compacted itself to be almost like a purpose-built moss for roadways, as it adapts very quickly to its environment. But yeah, this is a hunking battery of nature energy on the side of the road.
Nice.
We'll report that to the Circle of Forestry Resources.
Mm-hmm.
Got the name right. Fuck it.
With that, I think we can continue on.
Yeah, if you don't got anything else you need.
No, this was nice, but we should find out who is taking care of this one.
Alright.
Your comment on being older than the tree made me go and look up stuff that happened back in the 300s, and that was when the Roman Empire stopped persecuting Christians. Like,
You're old.
Yeah.
for reference, you would have been alive when like martyrs were still being fed to lions.
You're old.
I am aware.
You weren't around for that whole time, though. That's the interesting bit.
Yeah.
You're more of a isekai transported into the future.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I didn't
In the
hear
same world as a skeleton.
I was isekai'd into Earth.
Yeah.
I'm now Chinese. And it's 1988. Okay. Like, odd, weird, same concept, but okay.
There's so much culture shock for so many reasons.
Yep.
Without any of the crippling existential dread of being immortal yet.
Yeah.
Just like, I got clocked in the head in like the Revolutionary War. What?
Enough. birds fly that are made of metal.
Yeah.
The first day
You
you're
straight up like
panic
went to
attack,
bed at
die.
Jesus time. and woke up now. It's like motherfucker. What the hell?
What is that?
Where am I? Same place. You're
Just
lying.
like you mean those
I mean, you're
heretics
so old.
rule everything?
You would have
now?
a hard time saying like I'm from this place and like we have never heard of that place. We have no written record of that place. Any maps that existed of that place are long gone. We have switched languages several times since that place was named.
Yep.
How old can mother trees get then? 'Cause
Uh,
I
Oh,
was
That's
under
a
the
Vanya
assumption that they
question.
could get like super old.
Probably.
Yeah.
This one's young.
this one's
Yeah.
young. You if you ask Vanya, she
Yeah,
knows some
Vanya
stuff.
might be able to answer that. Back
The
on the
oldest
road.
tree was a seed at some point.
We have this conversation on the road.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The mother trees, at least the mother tree that we passed with the druids up in Richmont, it's about 10,000 years old, a little older. The one that has fallen is about twice as old. Though has
How
been
old can
dead,
trees be?
though it's been dead for quite some time.
Yeah.
This one is maybe. She's actually going to cast Speak with. Oh, I'm going to say she's casted Speak with Plants.
During her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And spoke with this mother tree. So she has some information, but she's currently keeping it close to her chest.
That's fair.
But I would say one of the things she got is it's only about 40 years old.
40?
Oh!
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
an important
Size.
number.
It's
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40 is an important number in this recent history.
Oh.
and it really. I have some concerns. It seems to be okay for now, but I want to check in with the next druid circle that we come across.
Yeah, sure.
I need to make a fucking note to tell Sadie.
Sadie, plot
I
happening.
think just
Michael, I know you're listening to
Send her a-
this.
yeah,
Tell
send her a-
Sadie about what just happened.
She spoke with a functionally fucking baby mother tree.
Baby mother tree. Gunmar thought dragonborn babies were big.
Yeah. They have the maturity of a 10-year-old at 1 year of age.
Yeah.
Raising Bular has been a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I bet.
Ah, you too? Here's an axe. Go chop wood.
Goo goo.
Fucking useless.
What do you mean you don't have teeth yet? I was born with teeth.
That was the first few years of having Bular.
Imagine meeting a human baby.
Where are your scales?
So squishy. But yeah.
No, you can't move them that quickly. They're so fragile.
What do you mean?
Imagine Gunmar meeting like a freshly born puppy.
I don't
Just
know.
over
You
time.
would understand like young things. I mean,
Yeah,
like
but it would be jarring.
oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because yeah.
Because, like, young lizard is kind of set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Well, and Dragonborn and I assume Aarakocra too. Like their maturity rate is so fast.
Yeah.
Mature at 3 years old.
Yeah.
You have you also have genetic knowledge.
Yeah.
Which means that there are some
Where to go back to
fundamental.
lay your eggs?
Well, also just it's more than that. It's your cultures are more hard and set in stone because you're literally born with certain knowledges of culture, identities, and aspects and such like that. It's basically it cuts out all that thing of like growing and introducing the world, and like what the fuck is going on.
Your crocodiles.
You're basically born and kind of know like, are you in a hierarchical society or not, and what is the local area, and by natural senses and stuff like that, you can immediately pick out close family members and stuff like that, and there's some really interesting culture stuff that you take on to it quite a lot, and it has a lot to do with plumages and other things like that, like the family line, the royal line. You could instantly point out like I'm probably related to him.
And I think got the Dragonborn like the various hues of the scales and like the way the horns are arranged.
But
Baby
that,
has been messaged.
that was also just that was just how Dragonborn are told apart. But those things would be genetic as well. But yeah, you guys finish up the day having seen a baby mother tree.
Fancy pantsy.
All right.
40-year-old baby. It's the Grogu. Not Grogu. What is it?
It is Grogu.
Grogu?
It
It
is
is
Grogu.
Grogu.
No, that's from American Dad.
No, that's,
that's
Baby
Baby
Yoda.
Yoda.
Okay, there's a Grogu in American Dad who is the son of Roger. That was done by some it's great. Okay, it's.
Yeah, but Baby
I'm
Yoda's also named
unapologetically quite a
Grogu.
big fan of American Dad.
No, I fucking love American Dad.
Yeah. But Grogu is the name of Roger's son. More like cancerous growth that came off. Oh shit! It is Grogu.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were right the first time, unintentionally.
Okay. Grogu is. I'm pretty sure the American Dad Grogu is older.
Probably.
It is.
Which is fucking hilarious. I'm like, what are we gonna go with this little baby Yoda Grogu? Like, you didn't do a Google before?
No, that was Rogu.
Grogu. Sorry.
Rogu was
Is
from
it
American Dad.
Oh.
Grogu? Okay.
All right, moving
Your
on.
brain must have switched. Anyway, yeah, we reach
Grogu.
we
Anyway.
reach an inn.
Yeah, you each an in. You can spend 10 gold again or cheaper.
Yes.
Okay. Tonight, Vanya very much like she always sleeps outside.
Yeah.
Tonight in particular, she sleeps outside, as she's feeling particularly well connected with the land right now. I will tell her that if she would have done something today, she would have had a +1 to her spell save DC
Okay.
Nice.
Fancy.
and any attacks that spell attacks or saves.
Druids are awesome.
We were on the road for another 5 hours, or was it longer this time?
No, 5 hours.
Okay.
Still rocking the speed horses.
That's fine.
Moving around at the speed of haunts.
Night goes, you wake up. Today you will be getting to Stolbert.
I know which image you're looking up, and I
Happy
wholeheartedly
Saturday.
approve.
Damn, it's Saturday today.
It's all coming full circle.
Travel makes the days go
Haunts.
fast.
Maybe we'll actually get out of this month before another year.
Oh, wow. What?
It's a chunky boy. I said haunts, and Bray immediately pulled up haunts.
Because
Alright, not setting memes in Discord carries
Without
over to
memes.
not showing memes at the table. We wake up and begin travel.
Yep. This is slightly interesting. So, within basically, you start traveling, you try away at like say 8 a.m. You're supposed to get there by about 10 or so, and you go traveling quickly. In about 30, 45 minutes, you start hitting the outskirts of the town.
Okay.
But the sign overhead, well, not overhead, this is, the sign next to it that says like, welcome to, does not say Stolbert.
Uh-oh.
It says
You missed.
Benadryl.
B.
Benidrid. Benadryl.
it's almost medicine.
Almost medicine. That's the slogan.
The sign itself is Spartan, is how I'd put it. Very robustly made, thick cuts of wood, blocky letters.
Does it seem old?
Seems well taken care of. There is some age to it, but you can
Okay.
see the maintenance is there. Touch-ups are
Okay.
constantly about it. It seems very well taken care of, but also very much not brand new.
We found a town that isn't the town we're looking for. On our way into the town we were looking for.
Did we make a wrong turn?
The road goes one way.
What? Turns.
No, we've been
You've
following
been
the road.
outside the cart this entire
Are
time.
we still
What
seeing
turns?
people
That
on
was
either
a
side?
sword.
Oh my, no,
stories.
it's packed. You're in deep civilization.
Word. Okay. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with going in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Worst case scenario, we get directions.
the Gur goes right through it.
Yeah. Is it one of those, like, one traffic light towns?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's quite big.
Okay.
But as you travel down to it, it doesn't seem to stop. Unlike the other towns you were kind of in, the travel places, where you would have a couple roads, main roads. You would have the main road, which is the Gur, a crossroad, maybe 2 or 3 of those. The inn would be at one of the corners of that, or make up a whole section of that, along with other buildings and other things like that. But eventually you would peter out and get back to farmland. As you're going through this and go through the next hour, it's just getting more and more populated. Just more and more people, and buildings are more, and soon you're basically going down a city street.
Maybe the sign's just wrong.
Or they changed the name of the town. Or they have 2 names for the town.
It's like
As
a
you
Westerville situation.
as you're going down,
As we're walking around, I'm gonna try to keep an eye out for any signage that says anything different.
no, okay. Give me a perception check. I'll let you know as you're going down this place. The buildings here are quite unique and uniform in architecture. They're big wooden built, like they're Swiss Alpine. So those cross beams with the whiteness and flower boxes and other things like that, overhangs. Hopefully you're getting the same picture I am.
Sure.
It's a lot of that. It's very nice. It's very quaint. The place is impeccably clean. There's a lot of hanging pots with vine flowers. That seems to be a traditional trend. All of them usually either violet or blue. There's a lot of people here. And it's a lot of families, a lot of people moving around. This is Saturday, so it's kind of a market day. There are stalls all across up and down this main road. People going, you actually slowed quite a bit as you're just making it through, as the roads here are for everyone. The buildings are tall-ish, about 3 stories at the max. Periodically, a shorter building comes in every once in a while. It just looks to be like a standard town that just keeps continuing and going and going. Where you would eventually think you'd peter out. It just, there's another inn, another blacksmith, another shop, another residential house, another office, all kinds of things, another craftsman. And there seems to be a lot of families out and about, and a fair bit of children. As you press and go, the gird does weave a little bit. It takes the flattest point it can, but suddenly it really starts doing a left-hand curve and goes down to a pretty steep grade for a medieval road, about a 1 to a 1.5 grade. It's actually quite steep. But it also puts you at the top of a hill, and as you turn and look straight, you can see out into the distance, a good several miles away still, a river and a bridge, and across the bridge you can see an industrial mass. Still a little bit too far to get some good detail out, but you can see at this point now that there is a river and a bridge that crosses this whole place, and that you're heading towards it. You were looking out for signs that said Storburn.
Yeah.
Periodically, quite often, there are different things that say, not necessarily like, every once in a while you will see a sign that just points down the Gur and say Storburn, and they're the same signs that periodically you've seen them, I just haven't mentioned them. They're roadwork signs.
Yeah.
So Zoc that way, Storburn this way, Capital that way. 1 or 2 even say Richmont North, and has a symbol on it that you would know as someone proficient in vehicles. That just means take right at next major town.
You would pass the driving test.
Actually, you would. That was one of
I
the
would
major.
hope so. I'm currently driving.
Hey, nobody's asked for your license.
Oh no, I meant the flying one.
Oh.
That was actually what I messaged you about the proficiency stuff.
Ah, okay.
That was the context of how you wanted to handle that. So,
You also get advantage on the save.
yes, you do
Because
get
of
that.
your proficiency. So if you want to be in charge of the broom,
You get to add your proficiency, and you get to advantage on it. Yeah, you're good at not getting bucked off when moving the vehicle. So, but you can now see out in the distance a much bigger mass of buildings and machinery and just more city, bigger city. This seems to be the foothills before it. And yes, You've actually not seen a lot of signs that say Benadryl, except in the name of businesses and other things like Benadryl Apothecaries.
Oh, it's separate for tax reasons, isn't it?
No. No, there is a reason. But it's you see it in the name of the signs of like alleyways, places, names, and stuff like that. This is obviously the town of Benadryl,
Right.
but all the roadways are pointing towards Strawberry.
Right, because the road is still the main road.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a town that isn't a town.
It's very much a town. It's quite big too, and it just leads up. And as you keep going down, you're now at the edge of the bridge. This bridge is massive and quite old. It's made of solid stone, all basically puzzled, pieced together. You see no mortar between these stones. They are chiseled flush against one another.
Wow.
It's 7 cart lengths wide.
Wow.
It's huge. It is.
Has to be, wow.
It is old. It is big. It has parapets on both sides and big statues. The statues are of old emperors. Well, at least one is of an old emperor. Another one is of an old king's rep.
Does Darwin recognize any of them?
They're not that old, I don't
No.
think.
Okay.
They
You don't
do-
know.
They do have names under them.
This part wasn't Empire at the time.
You don't know. Maybe Darwin had a fever dream in the middle.
I would say on this side of the road, you can see the left one is King's Rep Townsend II. And the right side incorporates. You would now notice from your studying of the Empire timeline books, it's the 5th Emperor.
Okay.
I don't have a name, but that's the one that is.
Eldritch the Fifth.
I mean, maybe.
Maybe, probably not actually.
Jebediah Eldritch.
No. As you cross this bridge, a lot of people and things are crossing this bridge. And as you are, you can now get a good hard look at Stolburn. Between the confluence of 2 major rivers, the Vodi and the Hamat, lies the city of Stolburn. It's flanked by 2 twin stone bridges that are part of the Grand Eldridge Roadway, the GER, and intersecting with the main road to Richmond and the northern mountain region of the Empire. The city spans the banks of both rivers and to a small island that is marked on the local map. You're actually looking at a map of as Tarsi, Tarsy.
T-A-R-S-I.
The Isle of
That's the
Tarsi.
river. No, that's the island.
That's the island. To the north, continue the grand farmlands of the Empire, churning out the grains, vegetables, and livestock that keep the Empire fed. You've been passing these for several days now. Actually, the entire time. You've passed nothing
Yeah,
but
the
farm.
whole time we.
To the south are numerous small hamlets and villages that make their living minding the plains that lead up to the great forests of the southern druids. Each of these small and quaint towns are little microcosms of politics, trades, and quiet country life. You want to know that. To the east and west continue the main arteries of the Empire, where civilization is never far. Large inns are set a day's journey apart and down the GER, with many homes and businesses operating just off the road. Meaderies are popular between Zoc and Basin Town, taking advantage of the natural wild flowery meadows that embark the GER with the southern forests. When approaching Stillburn from the northern GER, you'll not coming from the northern GER. Oh, I can see what I was getting from. I meant east. The first thing you'll see is the multi-dozen large water wheels that butt up against both shores of the flowing rivers.
Wow.
These huge wooden and iron water wheels span the width of the rivers at times and rotate slowly yet unstoppably against the combined currents of the waterways. And a small plaque underneath the map that you were reading, it says, Stillborn is home to many mills, machine shop, and plants dedicated to the production of the finished goods of the Empire. Using the near-bottomless power of the Hamatan Vodi to continuously churn the fruits of the farmers' labors to the north in iron, steel, and bronze from the mines in Trusun into the intermediate products that supply the whole of the Empire. You look around and you've noticed that this has also allowed Stillborn to support a very large population, as flour here is particularly, and other fruits and vegetables, as this is where they get processed, are quite cheap here, as they're close to the means of production. Unfortunately, you can now see, based on this map, it's to the detriment of its limited space. Stillborn is technically only the peninsula between the communities of Selvi to the west and Benadrid to the east. The Isle of Tarsi still belongs to the southern Druidic tribe Skullteeth, which still houses, and from this distance you can see it, one of the largest mother trees of the Eastern Empire.
Oh.
And here you go, and we can fill in as we do it. But
Which part did the druids still own?
the island.
Yeah, what's the name?
Tarsi.
Oh, they own Tarsi. Okay.
They own
I
Tarsi.
thought you said another name.
Fuck me, I
Oh.
guess.
Sorry, I only printed 4. And one of those
That's
links.
fine. It's fine.
I mean, Gage and I can share. We're sharing this map.
Vodi, by the way. These are blank. I'm going to allow you to fill in a couple things.
I won't fill stuff in, so go ahead.
So,
I'm writing these notes. Yeah, someone else needs to fill out the paper map.
Here you go, Gage.
If we want to remember what we're doing in a week, this is my job. That is also my job.
Oh, yeah.
It's also Alex's job.
and then that is the. So, the White River coming down from the north is known as the Hamat. Heimat. And the left river is called the Vodi. Vody. Basically, all the land to the east of Hamat is Benadrid.
Oh.
All the land to the west of Vodi is Salvi. The peninsula going north, that's Stillborn.
And the little section there is Tarsi.
Here's Tarsi.
Mm-hmm. It's Manhattan. They have the Manhattan problem. Yeah.
Manhattan is an island. This is a peninsula. This does continue north.
Yes. Everything's an island if you try hard enough.
You go far enough, yeah.
Well, coastlines also never end if you go small enough.
True. And Tarsi.
But yes, Stillborn continues very far north. Well, its landmass continues north. But Stillborn is only the peninsula.
Okay.
What's the town bit that we hadn't hit yet? That isn't super?
Salvi. It's marked on the. You've basically come up before the bridge of a region map that looks like this.
And the yellow lines are the roads, correct?
Yep, that's Gur going east to west.
So this one
And
is
I don't have an official name for it, but the one going north will take you to Richmond.
Okay, so it's a line directly to Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
We are missing both our druid and our mechanical kobold man.
It's fine, we're shopping.
Alright, we'll just kill the rest of the session with a shopping trip and it'll be fine.
I'll be right back.
Doubt.
Okay, I've given you more of that space.
Do we want to talk to
There's one last thing.
Bounderith today?
Oh, there's
Sorry.
one more thing.
Oh. At the crest of the Stillborn Peninsula. So, see where the northern south road. See where it turns and goes towards Tarsi?
Yeah.
South of that, like across the map, just cross a line
Yeah.
right there. From there, south is Fort Trota.
Oh, so that's the fort on the peninsula.
At the bend.
At the bend, south. Everything from that bend, south.
Oh, okay.
The bend finally hits the wall of the fort.
Does the fort hit the water?
It does.
Okay.
Arguably the best guarded bastion of the King's Arms, Fort Trota is the headquarters of the King's Arms for the entire Eastern Empire.
Trota or Trosa?
Trota.
Trotta.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which is what the halflings were telling us about.
Yep. Base of operations for General Johann Brecker, commander of the East Armies and King's Rep of Fort Trota.
That's why I was thinking of Joseph, because you said yo.
The fort is situated on a man-made bluff that rises 70 feet off of the waters below. Made with packed stone walls fortifying its position on 3 sides. You can see turrets, and other towers crossing along its borders. And nothing but stone walls and thin arrow-slit windows. This place is made to be defended. And with water on 3 sides, a peninsula to its only land entrance being a peninsula, guarded by rivers on both sides, and nothing but huge walls and quite fast-moving rivers below. This is arguably, as I mentioned, one of the most defended bastions in all of the Empire, which is why it's also the headquarters of the King's Army.
We should take it over. As the
For when
starting
Ty
point.
Eldritch attacks.
Besides that, though,
Take 'em.
Ty or the fort?
We could take a rest.
Both at the same time.
oh,
God says no. God says that's a
the other big
terrible idea,
thing
and you'll die.
is I've mentioned this, but there's massive water wheels on. You can see them marked on the map on the other side, but you can't see them yet. But the hammock that you're crossing right now is water wheels for miles up the road. Supported on both sides of the river, some of these water wheels cross the whole river. These trunks are huge and massive, powering the whole city of itself. You feel like if this was an like a hydroelectric plant, it'd be producing enough power to handle all of Manhattan, Chicago, and LA.
That's so much
Oh my
power.
God.
Holy cow.
Slow
If only.
moving. Yep. Slow moving river, but almost entirely captured by the moving of the planks.
Wow.
And then they converge at the end.
And you
Sparky,
said
y'all built stuff like this?
No, I
Just like a yes or no, then I will roleplay it.
no. Much smaller.
Because
Yes and no. We had water wheels, but it was a lot.
Water wheel. Singular.
We had water wheel, but it was a lot smaller.
These things are massive.
You think there might be kobolds involved with this one?
Looks like it. Probably. Didn't we hear? Didn't we hear
Yes.
that there?
We're fairly certain there are kobolds here somewhere.
Looks like
If
a
you
little
want to,
kobold.
sorry, that was really confident. For like, I'm looking back at the information I've given you. Like, he's highly suggested it, but like, he didn't really like.
The only
yes,
clue-
I've met some kobolds here.
It says likely kobolds in Struberin in my notes.
Yes, and that's what he told
That's
you.
all we got.
Yep.
I'm assuming that's all we need.
It seems like it.
Alex is just going off of like, oh yes, he built a water wheel. Kobolds invented water wheels.
Look,
That's exactly what I'm going after.
when you have an empty bucket, any drop keeps you from starving.
Gotcha. Yep. It's like, I've been very ambiguous about that. Nope. Confident kobolds.
You've been really ambiguous. Hence, the only information must be accurate. Let's act upon it.
Look, I'm
This is
trying
the
my
only
best for
actionable
Sparky,
information.
Perfectly fine. So yeah. But this place, a couple things I want you, that you as players to realize.
Okay.
In the Industrial Revolution and stuff like that, in America and Britain and stuff like that, places with high amounts of factory work, a common thing was smog.
Yeah.
This was actually due to the burning of coal and other materials and stuff like that. that is noticeably missing from this town.
Would our characters think that was weird, or is it just something we as players would notice?
It's something that I want you guys to keep in mind.
okay.
It's
So
actually
it's different than our world.
yes.
Got it.
It is not. This is not a gloomy, smog-covered, everything's covered in soot, industrial town. Even though this is a manufacturing hub, if not the manufacturing hub of the Empire, just because it has the most amount of power, mechanical power. So the biggest forges, the biggest factories, the biggest things are here, but they don't generate the smog that we are used to commonly associating with that. They basically just hyper-extended water power instead of going off steam.
And there might also be magic involved.
They actually use quite a bit of magic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Crazy what you can do when you have magic.
Like
Solve all your
wood and iron that doesn't break under tremendous load.
Yeah.
Yeah, and other things like that. So, constant mending stuff that's built into giant constructs that auto heal itself.
What is your job? I clock in for 8 hours and just cast mending the entire time.
I mean, a lot of the maintenance workers probably do know mending.
Yeah.
But, like, there's probably those walls themselves probably have mending inside them. So if you shot something really heavy at it, it'll just slowly heal itself.
Nope.
But
That
yeah.
was a Grace thought. I heard that.
That was a Blaze thought.
No, that was a Grace thought.
But yeah, this place is a manufacturing powerhouse, but it's a beautiful, clear day.
So cool.
And you can see and smell, and it's still really, really nice. And this place, as you finish crossing the stone bridge, is packed. And that can't be overstated. These buildings at the short side are 4 stories, go up to 7. And they look to be built on top of each other. You can see where, like, the remnants of what used to be a roof that is now the 3rd floor kind of still stick out from some of the older buildings, especially ones near the bridges, as they just built up when they ran out of room. Because all of the mechanical power is on Stuhlgren. It's just internal. And you need to be close to it because it doesn't transfer well. Which means if you want to take use of it, you need to be here. Which means that if you need to be here, well, space is limited and factories make more money than people.
Yeah, those halflings are not kidding about cost of living.
Jesus.
It is like Manhattan.
Like old Manhattan.
Yeah. Like
New
Manhattan.
Manhattan is artificially inflated because of corporation greed.
It's artificially inflated and built on trash. So.
I'm also just like
So
you
is
talking about
Chicago.
the transfer. of
Chicago's
power.
built on old Chicago.
Which is trash.
A lot of that was rubble. It's slightly different. There's less organics. It's stabler. Natural trash.
It's rubble. There's a difference.
No, I meant morally. I meant morally, old Chicago is trash.
Oh, okay.
Chicago is a cake.
Oh, God, yeah.
Layers.
Yeah. Well, most Chicago's built on stilts.
Yeah.
They decided, like, all right, we need buildings and trains. How do we do that? And a guy goes, we'll just build the city on stilts. And, like, they did.
Yeah.
And, yeah, when Chicago burned in the Great 18 Fire, they just shoved it into Lake Michigan and built on it.
No.
So, a lot of Chicago's built on Chicago.
Chicago Square.
But no, what?
And yet
what
it's still a 3-tiered city.
Layers, man.
That's why it's a cake. And a nuisance to drive in.
Ogres are like Chicago.
One of the greatest engineering feats of modern times, they reversed the flow of the Chicago River.
Uh-huh.
Which was just fucking amazing.
They also
It's
turn
like-
it green once a year.
They do. That's the kindest thing they do to that river.
That is by far the kindest thing they do there. Anyway,
Yeah.
we are very off topic.
But no, with the whole like power doesn't transfer thing though, I was just imagining like they just have like the trunk of whatever tree this water wheel used to be just goes like 300 feet into town. It's just kind of spinning, and you just strap a rope to it.
Yeah.
Look, that's where the innovation can be.
Yeah.
Sparky, this is your time.
That's how it works. They're crisscrossing axles that go across the city.
They haven't invented wiring yet.
I'm just imagining.
They've really gotten good at clutch boxes and gearboxes.
Yeah.
But like the main source is just like, all right, we know how fast that's spinning, and like no matter what we do to it, it won't stop spinning that speed. So now it's all about just reductions and clutches. Yeah.
We figured out mechanically how to make power from this motion. We don't know how to move that power from this motion.
One of the engineers went to like, we know exactly how to do it. I just need a forest of trees.
And the druids were like, no.
We've tried that, it didn't work.
Pick something else.
They're very much the Archimedes method, and I'm like, no, if you give me enough materials, I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I have a solution that works over 1 foot. I could scale that bitch. It won't be efficient, but I'll do it.
Sparky's playing around with copper wiring these days. He'll figure it out.
Just checking to make sure. You said the trunks were very, very large, correct?
The axles.
Do we maybe
Not
know what
large.
kind
Very
of
large.
tree this is?
How... You guys are not very good with trees. Vanya might.
I'm okay with trees.
Yeah.
I'm a survival-based character.
I will allow you to do it, because you are survival-based
Can
based
Vanya
tree.
also-
But this is finished
Maybe a harder
wood.
check than
It is a
Vanya
harder
would get.
check. I'm just gonna give you different DCs. But this would legitimately be nature, not survival.
Okay.
This is literally like, hey, what tree
Still
is
alright
that?
in nature.
Yeah, Darwin's are cozy.
That is...
Halflings get to reroll ones.
Hey!
21.
Nice. So I had Vanya's sheet up and got the 503 timeout,
Oh no.
which makes no sense because I just hit refresh and it said timeout.
What I'm hearing is D&D Beyond having a
Having a
struggle.
And, I've
Yeah.
also been having
Plus
some
7.
Maybe it thinks Vanya did something
Plus 7?
wrong, so
Thank
it's putting in.
Oh,
Put
hey,
her in
you
timeout.
both got 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
roll off.
Rolling.
See who knows more about the tree.
Who
Vanya.
knows more?
Vanya is
Yeah, no, that's...
I will say, you
Alright.
like. It's a little interesting. So you both are basically pulling your insights into the same thing. You've seen this wood style and grain work before, and it's hard to see because it's wet, it's lacquered,
It's rolling.
it's moving.
Your fridge is open.
If it beats again, I'll go fix it, but otherwise someone's in there. Because it can be a little preemptive at times. Good kitty cat. But not all of the wheels are moving. You can obviously see that some of them are down for maintenance. You can actually people see walking them and other things like that, or doing maintenance on them. And those ones you take a close look, and you, especially with your eyes, and able to see at that distance. But Vanya just being able to,
Ice.
you know what I meant.
Eyes of the Eagle.
Yeah.
Able to see it that very clearly at that distance and stuff like that, and Vanya just being able to have the inbuilt incense. You both pass the check. You both do realize that these major axles are made of partly the axle bit, the trunks of mother trees.
Oh no. Why is electricity always evil?
I will say it's not one
Sparky
trunk
thinks
per
electricity,
axle.
we need to put 'em down.
It's like several axles per trunk. But
It's
you
the
can-
good ratio. As good as the ratio can be.
it'd be really hard to tell
Efficient.
exactly.
Don't trust
It'd be really hard to tell exactly how many mother trees went into all of these axles and such. But to get something that straight, that strong, and
Solid.
that solid, and magically powerful enough to handle these forces, the only thing in existence is the trunk of a mother tree, which they've harvested and have made axles out of.
Can Vanya tell how old the tree was when it was felled?
Not while this far away. She would need to be very
Oh,
close.
we need you. Okay.
Yeah. I would say the one that is not moving is the one under maintenance. It's not the closest one to you. It's you can recognize them at a distance, but to figure out exactly what is the story behind this tree, you would need to. She would need to get close to it.
Yeah. Which means it's very possible that that tree that we found is being grown for this.
So, there's a story from Oxford. When Oxford's main hall was built, they planted oak trees. Because in about 800 years, they knew, not 800 years, a couple hundred years, like 200 years, they knew the beans would be giving out based on their technology knowledge. So they planted trees that in 200 years' time will be the correct size and girth needed to replace them.
There you go.
This might be that situation, it might not be.
Might be. Who knows? Tanner's not a tree expert.
There you go. But yes, I will say
Wild accusations.
you guys are, at least with Vanya here and pointing out in your knowledge, the axles, the grand axles that build these these water wheels that cross the rivers are made of mother tree. You have seen dead mother tree before. A whole village is built on top of one. So, just keep that in mind. The use and production of these trees, one, they do naturally die, and two, they are
Right.
being used, so keep that in mind. But Vanya does clam up when she realizes that they are being used about this, because she does not know the full story and
Yeah.
assumes the worst.
I think we need to see if there's a circle somewhere in town.
Yeah.
Do we want to do that first, or do we want to find this lady and give her a horse's back so we're not just lugging them around?
Probably fun to give the horses back.
Yeah, let's give the
first.
horses back.
Okay,
I
what's-
might need a day or so.
Oh, okay. So we meet her here.
No, that's Vanya.
Oh, sorry.
To visit the druids over at Tarsi.
Okay. So yeah.
They will know why these trees are being used.
Cough, cough, wait for Sadie.
Yeah, no, definitely. Alright, let's find Lady Penelope then.
Penelope.
We have her letter. What is the inn that it has on it? Or
There
the-
is one
Ever?
inn in Stillburn.
Oh.
Oh.
You passed a lot of inns, especially near the bridge.
Okay.
But this one is in Stillburn. It's known as the Axle.
Ha!
I wonder why.
As you go up to it, you know it's the inn by one sign. It's actually quite one of the unfortunateness of building tall and using as much space as possible, as you end up with really tall squares. And sometimes the squares even converge after they're high enough that wagons don't hit them, to get even more room. So the sign that says the Axle is located in the middle of Stillburn. Not the middle. As the Gurn crosses Stillburn in a straight line, exactly halfway down it to the north, is a sign that says the Axle. And it's literally just a sign. When you enter it through it's got multiple sets of double doors and people are going in and out. It actually looks pretty grand and nice, if oddly small. Land here is at a super premium. The quality of the wood is great. It's lacquered floors. It has a nice carpet all the way down. In fact, bellhops are there by the half dozen. People are at the counter. People in fine clothes checking in, checking out. There is a small cafe to the right. It's just not big. In Richmont, you had all the space in the world and the place and the lavishness to fill it. The fireplaces could fit a wagon, and there was 2 of them. The grand hall could fit 1,000 people without hitting elbows. The lodge was massive. The Cantus's room, his opulent palace, was gigantic. So while opulent, it filled the space. This doesn't. You enter, and it's this is 50 feet wide. And there are mirrors on the side of the wall and nice lacquered floors and paneling, and it's very opulent.
It's fancy, but it's cramped.
It's really cramped. Even at these prices of this inn, it is still, land is super much at a premium. As you go up to the counter, you are greeted by a rather short, thin human. He's got a black pencil mustache. His hair is greased over. He does have a comb over. He's got little half moon spectacles. Give off the essence of a very fancy dressed rat.
Good vibes.
And as he
Always thought
sees
rats
you,
like that.
As he sees you approach, he goes, you arrive at 10 a.m. because they're new horses. You have your cart outside.
Yeah. No, right into the building.
Hello.
Howdy.
Welcome to the Axle here in Steelburn.
We're looking for Lady Penelope.
Are you? Well, she has arrived early this morning. She is currently resting in her room. Do you have an appointment?
We have this note from her.
May I? Thank you.
Rip.
He makes a show of like opening it and just like,
We have some of her belongings to return to her.
He does not react to you when you say that, and he finishes reading the letter.
I mean, of course it is.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see, and hands it back to you. I will send a couple hands out to take the horses. I will send a messenger up to Lady Penelope if she would like to meet you. She will send word back. If you could take a seat over there, we'll be with you shortly.
We'll wait.
Okay.
And you go shit on some very very nice chairs that are just a little too small, 10% too small.
Are
Not
there
for
enough
me.
for all of us or no?
I would say there's 5.
Cool. Does Gunmar take up 2?
No. You fit
Okay.
in. But it's a tight fit.
Tanner will stand.
You can instantly see that he walks around and goes to a couple of the bellhops, tells 2 something. 1 immediately starts going up the main staircase. Well, like, front door, counters, restaurant, keep going this way, staircase.
Okay.
Side exit.
Okay.
1 goes down the side exit, 1 goes up the steps. A few minutes later, you hear from out front horses being moved and such, and as you look out there through the big glass windows, you can see about 6 stable hands are now
Stealing our horses.
debridling your horses and taking them in one at a time back to them. They did come with feed bags, so they're putting feed bags on and then taking them off
Cool. Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's
Horse
very
things.
well taken care of.
Yeah.
But it does take about 5+ minutes of you just sitting there and just watching what you can only assume very wealthy people come and go from the cafe to different parts. But eventually
Eyes open for anything suspicious.
you can give me perception checks, and more than one person can.
I will do.
I've been attacked by your perception check.
Scary.
Ah! That one.
Oh, okay.
Now
Vanya's
one.
here. Oh.
Vanya will. Oh,
You get.
do you want to
Vanya gets
re-roll or do you want to
I
fake
would
roll?
like
Vanya
to-
gets to pick because Darwin also rolled in that one.
Oh, which one of you wants to re-roll?
Vonnie would technically pick.
Best out of 3.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fuck. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Fuck! Damn it!
You
And
get to
then-
re-roll.
Spark and I also have numbers.
Yep. We get the.
I rolled another 1.
You broke math! I'm so proud! It wasn't
Wonderful.
me this time!
You know what?
Welcome to my life!
I have like 2 inspirations. I'm gonna use one.
Oh yeah, you got
Oh,
inspiration.
okay, yeah. You don't get a card, but
You will
Okay.
get a card though.
That's better than a 1, so I don't get don't get a fake
get a
card.
card, yeah.
That's still a 4.
Alex has to pull out the cards.
Because I already had advantage on.
perception.
Yeah. Because
Oh.
the eyes of the eagles, I actually had a 4.
Oh, okay.
Oh!
I re-rolled the 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Aw.
Does it work like that?
You know,
I was
you
thinking
instantly
it
get
worked like
proficient. You get a you get
Perception.
advantage.
So roll 2 dice.
Yep. So you take the highest one. If you take the 1, she can make you re-roll the 1.
Okay.
So did you roll with advantage the first time?
Yes, I rolled with advantage
And they were
the
both
first
ones?
time because
Did you take the 4, or did you take the 1?
You can't roll with advantage and take the lower number. That's not how that works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then, what was the higher number then?
it was 4.
Oh, then you just got 4.
So
Okay.
you would
Oh.
get the reroll from Satan
Oh.
and not from
Yeah, I
your
wasn't-
inspiration.
Wasn't thinking about that.
Okay. Then. Well then. That was a thing.
Cool.
You also got a 4.
Man, we both got 4.
Yay!
You guys are kind of
It's okay,
like
Squawk's here.
It's like both me and Darwin are way out of our element.
it's very clean in here, very
Oh, no.
fancy,
Clean.
and just like
Okay.
it's
Darwin and Gundar's first enemy.
You know, you notice it's clean. You look back and it's just like,
There's a trail.
yeah.
Sorry.
people come and like instantly clean it. I would say you guys don't really notice much. You are kind of annoyed by the chair, I would say,
Yeah.
or something like that. But you see people come and go, obviously, but you're just not making connections right now. Like this isn't. You're not. It doesn't sound like nature, and so like.
Things have changed so much.
Oh no. Yeah, Darwin.
Oh, this is very different.
Poor
Yeah.
Darwin.
This is like the cutting edge
Yeah.
of the empire right now. You two, what you get?
23.
17.
Okay. With a 17, you notice the people coming and going. Very few are going upstairs. A lot of them are going to the cafe. A lot of them are sitting.
It's brunch. Rich people eat brunch.
Yeah, but you can see a lot of these individuals are in clerk's clothes of some of that side, making. You can overhear some of the conversation, and they seem to be talking about making things, meeting quotas, things they have projects going on and stuff like that. And they seem to be business meetings where they're just here to discuss a few things, maybe get tea or something like that, and then immediately leave. The central location of this inn really is nice for a lot of the major administrative buildings for the bigger industrial parts that are further up in Stuhlberg. So you've seen a lot of people just coming in, having a quick bite, like cup of tea or maybe a scone, talking with somebody, maybe 2 to 3 people, and leaving. And in that short period of time, like 5 minutes, you see like almost a third of the restaurant rotates in.
Wow. It's incredibly impressive.
Their wait staff is on it.
Yes, they are. Squawk, with a 23, you overhear just a little bit more. A lot of people coming in, going, coming in, going, coming in, going. You get the names of a couple things. You hear the name, Lady. It's one of the Italian ones. Minervini, Minervini, Minervini.
Yeah.
That one fine.
You hear an individual basically complaining that that their workers are complaining that Minervini's raising rates again.
Landlord.
Fun. I relay.
And you also hear a second one, Duke Townsend. Townsend. Just Townsend, one word. Are you
Yes.
guys cold? I am so hot.
I'm okay.
I'm a little chilly.
I'm always
I'm
cold.
I'm comfortable.
You and I operate on opposite ends of the temperature spectrum.
I'm really considering putting on the fan.
I will freeze to death.
But yeah, Duke Townsend.
We know that the Townsends, at least formally, were King's Reps because there's a statue on the bridge.
Mhm.
Presumably, they're still Towns Reps unless they've done something terrible.
By the way, Duke is with a 23. You hear the inflection. It's a title, not a name. He is Duke Townsend, not Duke Townsend. You mentioned somebody mentions offhand him being in. You don't get the wholeness of the conversation, but you get the feeling he's being inflexible. He's not really adapting. You hear the word like stonewalling.
Mm.
23. Yeah, no, that'd be about it. You hear that names. Lady Mariva is raising rates, and Duke Townsend is being stubborn, stonewalling, not changing.
Do I overhear the price of scones?
They're written on the wall.
What are the price? What's the price of scones?
2 silver.
Cool.
Very nice scones.
We have 5 scones.
Because it makes the math easy.
I don't like change, and I'm an adventurer. How much did they just charge you for that? Oh, wow. Okay, not too bad.
Gumar will go ahead and just discreetly
you
buy
paid a
a
lot for
scone for Sparky.
I'll survive.
Sparky is just watching Squark in disdain.
But 5 minutes later,
Sparky's like, fucking damn it.
Lady Penelope comes down. She's in a new dress. Very nice. The best way I can put it is kind of medieval version of a. Oh my god, what's the thing that Haley Quinton always wears? The suit dresses with a skirt. Lady no, it's like it was somewhat misogynistic. God damn it, there was a word for
Google
it.
away.
I was gonna say.
It's basically a suit, but for women, and it usually has a skirt. That's like the major difference. And there's no tie, it's usually a different blazer. Pantsuit? No.
No, pantsuit doesn't have a skirt.
Pantsuit doesn't have a skirt. I think I'm thinking of the word pantsuit, but it doesn't describe what I'm thinking of. Just crossing stuff there. Crossing wires. Anyway,
I mean, you can have a pantsuit where the bottom
Is a
is a
skirt.
skirt instead of pants.
that's what I'm, it's gonna be that.
Okay. A pencil skirt? Are you thinking of that?
Kind of, I guess, like,
'Cause
form-fitting.
yeah.
Generally, when you're thinking of pantsuit, it's with pants, but
Yeah.
women can wear a blouse, blazer, and a pencil skirt, which is the really fitted around the hips, narrow,
Yes.
ends just above the knees usually.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Cool.
It's kind of the medieval version of that. So a couple things about it is mostly just the material texture. But you can see it's wool. It's very well tailored and made. It fits her quite well. Her hair has been done up. You can see that her left arm is gleaming as though she just got her arm polished. I mean, it looked really good beforehand, but it was also like it looked like she's actually like when she got in, she had a spa day because she was just in a wreck.
Well, when we found it, it had kind of been
Dragged.
a few hundred
She
feet down the
deserves
road.
it.
But yeah, her hand looks quite good. Her left hand, made of bronze, that is now very sparkling. The fingers are kind of hollow and bent out with hinges, and they go down. And you can see that some of them are just onto circle sockets, and it's the magic that allows them to move, as you see no mechanism. And
Sparky continues to be amazed by the arm that he hasn't gotten a chance to be amazed by yet.
but yeah, oh yeah, that's the thing. She's wearing short sleeves.
Mechanical marble, and he just hasn't been here.
But yeah, her sleeves end before her elbow, so on both sides you can see the full majesty of her arm, her mechanical arm, and then just arm.
It's a good arm.
It's a fine arm.
She kind of wishes she had 2 of them.
Yeah, if she wanted one, she would have 2. I don't.
No, I meant real arm.
Oh yes,
She wishes she
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So you meant like.
Unclear.
No,
Ma'am.
she's coming down, and but yes, basically she looks very much business attire. She walks over to you and goes, "My saviors!
Howdy.
Let me look.
How did you find your way in?"
It was alright.
That's good. Well, my horse is fine.
Yeah, I believe the stable hands took them.
Excellent. That's good. Let me know. I know you had one at your disposal, but if you needed a couple more for the road, it'd be my pleasure to provide you with some.
I think we're doing alright with Roger.
We're doing
but
alright, Roger.
Appreciate the offer.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Jeffrey Bill the same was a marshal or much helpful.
Oh, the name of the horses. It's just like, it's not their names, but that's okay.
I didn't know their names. I named
I
them
never
on the
left
way.
it. No, that's on me, partially. I don't think I know their names, actually.
Recommend.
Mhm.
Especially because you never know when horses might talk back.
That's good to know. I would love if you would meet me for brunch, actually.
Certainly, I don't think we got anything else we're doing presently.
Oh, excellent. I think we'll head over to Sylvia. Salvi.
Oh, hello.
Salvi.
Salvi.
Yes.
Cool.
Just across the bridge. My residence is there. And we can eat at one of the cafes there, and I would love to show you around.
Much obliged.
Thank you for coming.
We can take my carriage, or I could ride with you.
We have more than enough space, but it's not. It
It's
probably
not
won't
the
comfortable
meet
ride.
your standards.
No worries. I've ridden on. Sorry, I was about to say something. And I was like, oh, that doesn't make any sense.
You could offer to let her ride on the moose. Probably she's never done that before.
She can ride in a hammock.
You can ride on.
You never share your.
she'll go.
Only for the finest.
I've had ridden on the back of ore carts before, from here to Truson, and nothing has quite lived up to that.
Fair enough.
But if you have it, I would like to be beside your driver.
I think we got room,
Thank
yeah.
you, sir.
Then, yeah,
Tomorrow,
Okay.
we saddle up Robert.
The
Do
good
you
news
have
is
to
when you
re-summon
summon
him?
him, you can summon him with or
I have
without
not. I
riding.
haven't desummoned him.
Okay, we weren't sure.
Okay. The good news is he comes with his own bridling.
Yeah.
So, like, hooking him up is just like done.
Just like hook.
So yeah, she comes with you
Yeah.
out on that, and you guys start heading west. I will say
I'll walk alongside the cart.
Gunmar will march towards the front.
Cutmore clears the path. Actually,
The
Roger.
moose
The
Yeah.
moose will clear the path.
And I am in my hammock.
If she didn't want it, doesn't know what she's missing.
A hammock and hammock.
He never shares his hammock though.
Hammocks are nice.
Seems a weird place. Anyway, not the time or place for it. She's in a pencil skirt, you know. She's very, business, all dolled up.
Fair.
Meanwhile, us.
Yeah, you guys cross over the
Full
peninsula
sword.
of Stolburn, and when you get to the other bridge, it's a mere copy of the other one. Still 7 carts wide, made of beautiful chiseled stone that has been flush cut together. This thing is held together by weight and gravity.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
That's how engineers
is
should do it.
very old. It's about as old as...
Darwin.
No, it's just a little older than the town, because they built it and then they built the town.
Just
I thought you were getting ready to say older than Darwin. I'm like, what? You sure?
How is this bridge older?
There
than
are
Darwin?
things on
What
this.
isn't?
Well, the people here are older than... okay.
What?
They've been here longer than Darwin's been alive, because they needed places to conquer.
But was it a
Yeah.
town at the time?
It wasn't part of the empire
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't part of the empire, is the best way to put it. There's probably been a settlement here for quite a while. This is a
There
very
were
nice
elves somewhere
place.
up here who were alive.
I will say, as you cross the bridge,
Who's he now? Who's alive?
there are interesting things. To the right, you see more wheels, water wheels. Not as numerous, but still go miles up the river. And going along the peninsula. But to the left, you see there are no water wheels, which is slightly different. But what you can see is the edges of the Isle of Tarsi. And most importantly, you can see the huge, dominating mother tree that encompasses the middle of that island. You can see its canopy spreading out, and it covers about 30%. Its tree coverage covers about 30% of the island, starting from the middle. It is a large mother tree. It's larger than the one you saw up north. Both the one that had fallen and the new one. New. I think the new one was like 10,000 years old.
Jeez. Chunky.
Penelope does point that out to you. It's like, those are the Tarsies over... sorry, that is the Isle of Tarsi. It belongs to the Scully Thief. I'm saying this wrong. S-C-O-I-L
Spoil.
T-E-A-D-H.
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 I'm sorry, can you start from the beginning? I was looking at pictures for reference.
S-C-O-I-L
Spoil Ted.
Teadh. Skorteth. It's Irish, so whatever that helps. He's a good kitty cat.
Okay.
No, come on. Go on. Come on, you little fucker.
I think that'd be like Squirthlade.
Skorthet or something like that. It means splitting, in reference to the splitting of the river. I don't think it's gonna mean like that in my world, but it means that in Irish. But yeah, you can easily see that the isle itself is covered in trees. Big, old growth trees. Yet dwarfed by the size of this mother tree. You finish crossing, and you're now over in Solvi. Solvi is opulent, is a way of putting it.
Oh no.
Good kitty cat. It's lavish, and the buildings here, especially the ones just off the main road, have tall, mostly ornamental wrought iron fences with fancy bends and movements, so you can see the grounds of these large manor houses. This seems to be quite the wealthy district. Big houses with side roads that go down them for deliveries and servants and such. The road here widens, but while it widens, it doesn't encompass more traffic per se. Part of the center becomes similar to the ladder in Richmond, has park space in the middle of it, so it splits. Trees shade both of the roads going up and down the Gurn for quite a ways, and then it goes into it continues being more houses, but a little bit down the road she turns right, or tells you to turn right, and down that road you see very fancy shops and artisans. This is local jewelry places, very fancy tailors, bakery shops that specialize in just desserts and stuff. This is an opulent part of town. And these are the shops that cater to the people that are here. You guys stop by a small little petite I was about to say diner, but that's not the right word for it.
Cafe?
Cafe's a good one. And she drops down and goes like, "This is one of my favorite places."
Patisserie.
Could be. Oh, yeah.
That's French. I don't know if you want to do French things.
Patisserie also just means, I believe that's exclusively pastries.
Mm.
Which you can have savory pastries, but this place serves other things. Point is, it's very nice, it's very clean, it's white, a lot of white marble, white, clear tiling, white painted, enameled, wrought iron benches and seats and tables. Basically, it's very nice, it's very clean. She enters, waves to the owner, and seats herself at a rather large table that can fit all of you. Well,
This is actually pronounced like good.
good.
Oh. Good to know.
Let's go Skoltith.
It'd be like
Skoltigith.
Skoltheg.
Skolthith. Okay, that sounds more good.
I've done Wet Hour.
Sounds more Irish, that's good. You guys are sitting and eating. She orders a little bit of everything off the menu, and soon small dishes are arriving of various kinds. These are very nice. The meals, the entry part of it is like fluffy pancakes with whipped butter and other things like that, but quite much smaller than you saw in Richmond. Very fancy, very dainty. The presentation is beautiful. But along with that is actually just quite a bit of pastries, sweetness stuff.
Oh, Spark.
Sparky is visibly excited.
So from a lot of things in puff pastries, anything from La Chatelaine is served in mass.
So lots of patisserie.
Yes, actually quite a lot of patisserie actually. Some of it is savory, so there's meat and cheese ones as well, ones with lock and salmon and other things like that. But it's a little bit of everything. Very small plates, very well designed, very expensive looking.
Breakfast tapas.
Tapas, yes. Very much so, yeah. I hope the food is to your liking. I know it's not what I think most adventurers are used to,
No.
but I guarantee you it should be wonderful. This is one of my
Spoiling
favorite
us.
places.
Squark, we're surrounded by pastry.
I get all of them.
They keep bringing more.
They do, I mean, yeah.
Squark, Squark, don't spend all your money here.
Please, it's on me.
Yeah, this is a gift.
Then Sparky says in Draconic, go ahead.
Don't spend all of her money here.
Squark, be courteous
Actually, no,
to
that's
our
what
host.
that is what Sparky would say.
Yeah.
Don't spend all of her money here.
So, thank you so much for rejoining me and allowing me to treat you like this.
Of course.
It's been quite a hectic time. I'm currently in the midst of procuring a brand new cart in such short notice. That's actually more difficult than I imagined. But now that I should be leaving by tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon at the latest.
Where are you headed?
Oh, I'm going to Zok. I travel
Right,
there
right, you
once a
told me
month. Yeah. We have some investments down there that we look into, as well as we procure some raw materials from them.
Right.
Oh, it's good to see that you got here safe, food.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the express was not as comfortable, but lived up to its name.
Yep.
Made it back in about a day and a half, little less.
Damn.
She got here in about a third of the time you did.
Yeah.
Whatever that math checks out. But how was your trip in? Anybody interesting? Did you enjoy? How did you find Benadryl?
Passed through it fairly quickly.
Yeah, it's quite the residential town, but actually it's several miles long. I should say it goes out
I
kind of.
mean, we didn't really stop anywhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's quite a bit wider than Stolberg.
People
when you know.
live there.
Mm. Exactly, basically. Oh, it's very nice, very quaint. A lot of families. Good place to raise your children. Mm-hmm.
Get more taste notes.
Really now.
Mm-hmm.
I have to remember that once I get my family out from the south.
Do you live in Basin Town? Actually, she would have the map.
Gunmar just
Basin Town is south, yeah.
Yeah.
Gunmar currently does not have his helmet on.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
You look like a Dragonborn with your helmet on. Just pointing that out.
Oh, well.
It does, yeah.
It doesn't hide the
I got that
Dragonborn.
part.
You don't
But-
stop having a snout. It's not like when you put a helmet on.
Also,
in
your
Skyrim
hands
and
are
it-
super different, and
Your build is different.
I knew that, but it was in the back of my mind, and I just kind of. Anyway.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry, you may not have noticed. I'm a Dragonborn.
Oh,
Look at
really?
He
No.
says pancakes halfway in his toothy maw.
No,
Farther south than that.
much farther south. The desert.
Oh, I see. We're from those lands. We get some of you. I've met some of your kind who have emigrated to Zok, because I've been there on business.
Yeah.
And I've spoken with Ezekiel a few times. He's the harbor master there.
Yeah, we met up with him.
We met up with him.
Hey! Great individual. He's been running a tight ship for a couple years now.
Yeah, we had to bring some bad news, unfortunately.
No.
Did you know the Dumonts, by chance? You do business up in Zok?
I definitely know of them. I know they've been missing for some time.
They
We found them. They ain't missing, but they ain't alive.
they currently reside on Mount Celestia.
Hold that thought.
It's like-
Lord, where's my lord?
and he's just like, and she'll just be like, "Nine."
She just pumps her fist.
Actually, I believe they were followers of Joaquin. They'd be on Elysium.
Elysium, then.
But that is sad to hear. They were much beloved there.
Yeah, we had to break that news, unfortunately, to Ezekiel and the King's Rep.
Hopefully they took it okay.
about as well as you could.
Yeah.
Sad news, but I'm glad they've had some closure. We've been wondering where they were. I know they've been missed for these past several months.
Hopefully we gave them some sort of cancellation,
Closure.
consolation. We took care of the problem that got rid of them.
Trolls,
Oh.
unfortunately.
Oh dear.
Dire trolls.
Oh. Can't say I'm familiar, but they
Don't be.
sound quite dire.
Don't be.
I like that. I like you.
No, you see one, you run. Fast, far, preferably in a zigzag manner.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. No, that would not help you.
Pure confidence.
This woman's never gonna see a troll, and if she does, it's already too late.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter what we tell her.
It's like old timey gator.
Yeah, if you do
drills in
loop de
Florida.
loops and that'll save.
Bob and weave.
They can't see you if you're cartwheeling.
You're alive.
Act big.
Just gotta make you look too big. She believes you. I mean, you're adventurous, and she's not.
I hope she never meets a troll. We've just killed her.
Not
She
if
meets
it's
a troll, she was already dead.
Hide is probably the best option.
I'll keep that in mind.
It would not be tasty.
On the topic of the trolls, you would know better than us. Do you know where we could find a magic shop? Unfortunately, one of the things that we found in that troll cave, unfortunately, was broken.
Oh, sure. We have a number here. For small kind of artisan work like that, you'll want to go to... and she drags down an address, and it's a little bit north on the eastern side. This one does some very good work. If I remember right, this is called... you know what? I don't like the name I have because I'm making it up on the spot. I will give you a name later. But
Okay.
you have a name for a artificer's shop. Somebody who specializes in the making, creation, and repair of magical items. We have a number of shops of that nature. So if they don't work out or they're busy, someone will definitely be able to help you.
Do you know if they can also, for lack of a better term, rebrand items?
I'm not familiar with their crafts, but I trust the craftsmen here in Stillburn. We have some of the best, if not the best, in the entire empire.
Okay, good.
If you want anything made, this is the place to have it done, outside the capital.
Not made, edited.
I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah, that might be a better question for the workers.
Right.
Sorry, my interests are mostly in the creation of my God. Oh, I
What
don't
does
have
she
a word
do?
for it.
The creation of my god.
Oh, what?
No, she. I know what she does. I just can't remember. She, her and her husband run not a foundry, a machine shop. They make specialized big parts.
Oh.
We,
Textiles.
Machinist?
Yeah, machinists?
they employ machinists. They run a machine shop. Yeah. We'll just go with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We run a machine shop for the Empire. We employ machinists and stuff like that. So I deal a lot in raw material, transportation, making, fitting, all that kind of more complex work. We specialize it here in Stillburn.
You got an idea of how lathes work? Imagine most of this town
Lathes.
does.
Oh yeah, a lot of lathe work.
No, we appreciate the insight, you being able to give us recommendations on where to go to talk
Very much
about
appreciate
things like
sure,
magic
sure.
items.
Oh yeah, I know this place is a bit of a maze. After you get off the main road, it's with no major landmarks and all the buildings kind of towering over you. It can be a little hard to navigate.
Yeah.
The grid system helps a little bit, but some of the older roads are still hard to counteract.
Do you know where? I'm gonna go on Sparky here for a little bit.
That's what I was thinking.
The guild hall. Do you know where you can find that for like contracts or whatever?
Oh, the Adventurers Guild.
Yep.
That one.
All right, we have a number of guilds in this in Stillburn. The Adventurers Hall would be, and she's like thinking herself. Yes, it would be at the base of Fort Trota. on the eastern end, just off the main road. I don't know what it's called, but I've seen the symbol for the Adventurers Guild there.
Alright. Thank you.
Sparky might also want to. I don't know if he would want to start inquiring about kobolds because she runs a machine shop.
I would leave that to Mike.
Okay, that's something we can leave for Michael if he wants to bring that up.
That sounds good.
Put a pin in it, like if Michael does want to.
Right, because I don't know if he wants to touch it or not.
Sure.
But she runs a machine shop. That might be a starting point.
We
We're gonna let Michael make that call.
Yeah.
we also have business with a man here. I was wondering if you would know anything about him. Lord Bandrith.
That's a Basin Town.
Ah, shit, you're right.
Yep. Nope. This is kobolds. Yours is next.
Yep.
Never mind then.
There are kobolds here. I've declared.
I
If
it.
forgot.
you do mention his
Right.
name, she might know him. He is a lord.
Would I have? Sure, I'll inquire. Why not?
Alright.
Just a little bit.
How do you inquire?
With your words.
With her index finger.
Further down the road, we're meeting with a Lord Bandrith, and to be perfectly honest with you, we know next to nothing of the man.
Wow.
Just a name to go on. Would you happen to have any information by chance?
Oh, sure. Just a couple bits of knowledge filed through my purview. I must admit, I don't know if it looks like to you, but I'm actually not quite as hobnoxious as a number of the people that live in this district. Me and my husband grew our shop ourselves, for the most part.
I remember.
Thank you. And actually, this is his work. Also, I lost it partially because of my fault. So, but
I
partially
got that.
his, and so he felt a little guilty about it.
Fine.
In all honesty, it was truly an accident, but he feels ownership over it. But no, Lord Bandrith is a true lord. He's, well, I don't know if his family is or were Kingslat, but he's closely tied with the history of Basin Town. I'm not sure how you would get a audience with him, but if you have an inn, I would focus on it. He's a busy man in certain communities. He's a very large component of tiefling rights. I see you don't have any of them among your party, or at least none that here.
No.
Alright. He's pretty fairly well known, him and his family, between here, Zoc and Basin Town, as well as a little further west. Their family has been fighting for the rights of tieflings ever since the conjuncture. Not conjuncture, that's Witcher. Fuck me.
I was gonna say.
Point.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have it in front of me. There's a name for the thing that happened to the tieflings.
Oh, okay.
The one shot I was based around it and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was kind of like a purge, but not quite. It wasn't legally
Culling.
sanctioned. No, because I already have it. The dragon calling it. I don't use that word.
The Tiefling Trials.
Could be something like that. I have a.
It's like the Salem Trials.
Because it was very much not official.
The
It was.
hunts.
I will get a name for it, but it was very much like basically a cult came up and said all tieflings are bad, therefore we kill tieflings. And then they hunted down tieflings for 40 years.
As you do. As you do.
Not 40 years, but for decades.
Everything is 40 years.
Yeah, I wanted to avoid that. But for a very long amount of time, this cult very quickly rose to power, killed a lot of innocent people.
Burn Bright was put down hard.
Yeah. But it's the reason tieflings are only found in cities now. And they are kept close. And the problem is that
Well, because there's safety in the
Yeah.
numbers.
safety behind the walls and stuff like that, and a lot more tolerance in the cities. The thing is that the ideas that came about because of the tiefling thing are not necessarily gone. In fact, they're still well and alive. It crossed a point for a period of time where these extreme measures will happen, and that was beaten down. But that was also 200 years ago, and so
Superstitions persist.
mhm. So that was something I had in my back pocket in case we had tiefling players and stuff like that, and I might still bring it up.
There's still time. You could kill all of us.
But very much so.
Probably not.
You
We can all be
most of us.
tieflings.
Yeah.
We could all be tiefling. We could be a tiefling Barty.
Oh, no.
All of us are going, oh, I just heard what you said.
Well, yeah. Bandwidth and his family were
Just a
instrumental
wandering metal band.
in the putting down of that movement. And his family is well regarded in that area. But beyond that, they own quite a large swath of land around Eldridge Lake. I don't like that name. I was going off like Victoria Lake, like Lake Victoria.
Yeah.
Maybe Lake Eldridge. I wanted the name after the Empire, but
I think Eldritch is better.
I'll go with Lake Eldridge. We'll go
The
with
Eldritch rolls off the tongue.
What we need is just more historical figures to name things after.
that. Yeah, I gotta really broaden that
Lake
horizon.
Darwin.
We become the historical.
Could be Aldridge.
Just
Yeah.
Oh,
just call it like Lake Henry or something like that, and just like do not elaborate on who Henry is.
Fuck it's Henry.
What? Henry's my brother.
Dude, I used H's too much already.
Like Steven.
You
I
have
was
3
actually
variations.
kind of like that
of
Lake
Hen-
Aldridge.
Yeah.
We'll go with that Lake Aldridge. It's LA.
Is that this lake?
No. Yes. Sorry, I thought you were pointing at that map.
The
Yes,
big
that
lake.
big ass lake is Lake Aldridge, and it's now Lake Aldridge.
That's with an A, correct?
Yeah.
That's also that's legitimately a thing you could do. Is just like, no, this got named after the guy who made it like 75 years ago.
Yeah, you could
That's
name
the only
things and then
thing
work
that
on
he
the
did with
history
his life.
later.
Like, what did this guy do? He built a lake.
Also, there's things named after physics somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Dude's
No.
too old.
There are things he doesn't know about that have been named after.
Yeah,
physics.
exactly.
I'd like to think physics.
Physics, the study of, but it doesn't mean like what we know.
But they
It's like,
spelled it wrong.
it's physics, but it's like, what is this? What's the study of anything and everything? Named after its creator, the study of anything and everything. Physics. The foundations of the universe, but
It's
also like
they made
how
a
to
great
make good
movie about
spy.
it. It's called Everything Everywhere All at Once.
No, it's just like how like in math, everything was found by like Euler or Euclid, to the point where like we started naming things after the second person who figured it out, because that way it wasn't always just Euler and Euclid.
Don't you be disrespecting Pythagoras like that.
Geometry. Fleet's got that shit down. Anyway, Pythagoras famously like didn't believe in some really fundamental
Rational numbers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like a fundamental part of math, he just like, nope, don't believe it.
Yeah, no. He basically had a math cult.
It was a thing.
I'm not exaggerating.
No.
He did. He did.
There's a statue of him in Greece. It is not holding a right triangle. It is holding a triangle. It is not holding a right
Is it
triangle.
isosceles or scalene?
I'm just gonna pull it up. That's it.
Two long sides and a short.
Ah, okay.
And he's holding the short one.
Got
And
it.
it's just like, it's not a right triangle. The thing that people know him for.
Good
Everyday people know him for.
job.
That being said, I think it's an actual triangle he would have used during his day and age, so it's historically accurate. But it's not a right angle. The thing he's named after,
The thing he's named after?
you know what I meant. Point is,
We did.
back to brunch.
This is great brunch conversation. I don't know what you're talking about.
Who the fuck is Pythagoras?
This is the sort of stuff I would talk about during
Oh, yeah?
brunch.
But Lord Brandwith is quite well known and quite important in those kind of circles. If that interests you, then he's your man.
Yeah, there are definitely things we need
Tiefling,
to talk
I
to
should
him
say.
about.
Right. Thank you very much for the information.
Are you yourself a tiefling? I know some of your. Sorry to be brash about this, but I know some of your kind do still hide, basically by the persecution.
I understand the way you're thinking, but I'm actually a human.
Really?
I have a little bit of business with the tieflings, but
That's good.
human through and through.
Excellent.
Deception check.
I'm not lying.
You're half bug at this point.
You are withholding information.
She's gonna believe.
Withholding a lot of information.
You've done nothing that make that suspicious.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, no.
As far as you're concerned, your adventurers, you all look different, but that is the uniform. Is that you all look different?
Just like,
Yeah.
The fact that we have 2 halflings is wild.
like,
Yeah.
it's like freaking anime protagonists.
Exactly like anime protagonists. We all wear the same clothes every day too.
Okay, that's a middle.
That's the Middle Ages. Like,
It's a medieval place. You know, motherfucking peasants that have worn the same clothes for 2 years. That doesn't make them adventurers.
I throw them in the. I jump in the river sometimes so they stop crunching.
But yeah,
That's how pollution starts.
but yeah, Lord Banwith is. I've never met him myself. I've heard good things, but only in passing. And yes, highly tied to the Tiefling causes.
Right. Right.
Owns quite a bit of land. Let's see. Any questions about my fair city? I know I'm a Stillburn native, born and raised. Same with my husband, and I would love to let you know about anything about our city that you would like to know. I know you're not going to be here for very long. I heard you were heading over to the capital. But
Got any recommendations for things to do, people to see or talk to? We saw some statues on the bridge coming in.
oh, if you were coming to the east, that was probably Duke Townsend. Well, his great grandfather.
So there's Duke Townsend now.
There is. He's Duke Townsend the Fifth.
Everybody write something down.
Including me. I have now made him the Fifth. He's an honorable man. A bit stuck in his ways, but he's protective of his little area.
His family still the king's rep?
Yes, him and his family have been the king's rep for that area for over 400 years now. They inherited it off of a split of the family that owned Sauvi here. That's the now the Moveni family. It has been for couple hundred years now, but the lineages and ancestors of the Movenis have owned this land since the founding of the empire.
Question, real quick.
Mhm.
Earlier, when Squirk heard about Minervini raising rates, was that like a whole name or part of a name or?
Minervini is the last name.
Okay.
You
So-
said Minervy here, so we thought.
Sorry. Minervini. It's once again. I told you I think I said it. The names I used for Stillburn are made of two things: Italy and German.
Mhm.
Good at the German ones. The Italy ones are not very.
I
good
just
at.
wanted to make sure it
Yeah.
wasn't like parts of name, like how I thought Bellefontaine was a first and last name.
Yeah, no. Minervini is one word. She'll give you, because she would know this. Currently, the king's rep of Salvine is Lady Vilma Minervini. Her and her family have run Salvini since the Empire came here and incorporated it. If you ever get to meet her, I hear she'll tell you the story before you ask.
Maybe we'll go do that.
Maybe.
I don't know. We seem to talk to a lot of king's reps.
We do.
We
I
do
think-
need to tell them that there's an evil undead eldritch abomination coming.
Do you mention that?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
Sis goes, I'm sorry, what?
I just realized Eldritch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You just now realized?
Yeah, that was not on purpose.
Happy accident.
Yeah. It's,
And
it's
then,
totally not the, I'm not going, existential horror over here.
We can still all multi-class into Warlock. It's
But
fine.
no, when you were saying Eldridge Lake earlier, I was just like, oh yeah, no, like the coastal town of Innsmouth's over there.
Lives, yeah.
Miskatonic University. I don't
That's
know
why it's a
university
Camp
shit.
Crystal situation.
Oh, God.
So, but no, here in, if we're talking King's Rep, we have 4. Well, technically, each one has 1, I should say. Stillburn is currently run by Julia Paps.
Also Paps?
Pabst. Julia spelled like Julia. But Pat's like Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Sure.
Which, by the way, is just a general last name, a pretty common last name in German. Julia Paps, I actually know her quite well. We grew up together. She's currently the King's Rep. She's been holding the position for the past 4 years. I think she's been doing a good enough job as given who she has to compete against, understandably. Stulburn, as you might have noticed, does not have a lot of land. Well, technically it has a lot of land, a lot of it to the north, really far away from all the industrial aspects of it. And unfortunately, traveling, after you get too far, you start hitting the precious farmland, which the Empire is quite protective of.
We've noticed going through it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, on the east you have Benadrid, ran by the Townsend family, king rep of that area. And on the east, on the east you have Benadrid. On the west you have Savini, run by the Mervini. And they're highly protective. The Mervini are a little snobbish, in my opinion. But they like their class and they keep this place clean. But it is not cheap to live over here, and they like pricing people out, especially the closer you get to the bridge and the GER. Townsend is a little bit more reasonable, but he has close ties with the King's Arms, and will give preferential treatment to the soldiers that live and work at the fort. Which is nice if you are a soldier, but he will only expand if it can guarantee he can be supported. And right now he feels that his region has been hitting its limits of its capacity for quite some time, and has been hesitant about expanding without assurediations and such. And he's a very cautious individual. He cares much for his people. But right now we truly need housing, and there's not enough land in Stulburn to allow that, no matter how tall we build. And Julia has been trying to convince both of them to meet her a third of the way, let alone half. And then you also have General Breacher over at the fort. An honest man, good man. But his purview is first and foremost to the Empire and its safety. And he will very much protect. I feel no safer in the Empire than I do next to its walls, Fort Chota. But it's a lot of land for the army, and while they use it up efficiently, it's a lot of land that could go to a lot of different people. At the same time, very, very defendable, and I do feel safer for it. At the same time, he's a king's rep, so he gets to be one of the deciding votes, and he fully has privilege and control over his portion of the peninsula, and so we can't touch that. And then, of course, you have Tarsi. The Druids themselves, they keep the water flowing and keep it clear and keep it good, as well as, consult. We've had some tense relationships with them for a couple of decades now. But, well, I hear that they've been improving slowly, but tensions are still high.
Are they generally receptive to visitors or not so much?
There is a bridge made of one of the roots of their tree. It crosses over, but I know it only uncurls for those that have given permission. That being said, if the druid among you might have motions to Vanya, you might know a way in that we that aren't privileged can't see.
Yeah, we wanted to visit, but
I know they have some of their people do live on this side of the river, where their tree would take root. You'll be able to speak to some of them.
alright, maybe we'll see if they're amenable.
And they do have an office over here. Some of them do work for the Circular Forestry Resources.
Is that down near the Adventurers Guild?
It would be close by. It's at the end, kind of. And she points on your map. I'll say you picked up a map.
Cool.
We pick up a map everywhere we go.
Yep.
Because it's easier.
You see the right bend. That right bend on the corner of that, next to the wall, that's where the Adventurers Guild is.
Mhm.
If you follow that road all the way to the river,
So right at the edge of the river.
yeah,
Got it.
that's where their office is.
Put that on the docket for tomorrow. By tomorrow, we mean next week.
Michael's gonna see my map and just hate it.
There's a blank one somewhere. Michael can mark on it as he wishes.
But Salvini owns a lot of the land that's south of the river, and if we could build another bridge, it's far enough away that, I don't know, maybe we could put more housing down there, stuff like that. Right now it's just floodplain and kept clear for a line of sight for the tower and the fort itself.
Mm.
The solutions are varied, many, at all times, and someone will have to give up something.
Right.
So we've been in a stalemate for what seems to be a past decade.
Yeah, I won't pretend like we have the solution to your problem.
But if you have the King's Webb's ears and can meet Julia, she's open to ideas. I know some adventurers, especially, can get a little bit of purview when they're wanting to do some work. And I know General Blitcher always usually has some big errand that he hires out for.
We can take a look at it.
The Adventure Guild here, unfortunately, doesn't get a lot of work with anything that would come up of a monstrous sort
Handled properly.
by Breacher, and he likes using them as to get the young recruits some good battle experiences. Good ways of organizing, being teams and such, from what I understand. As we haven't had for the good news, we haven't had a major war in decades.
Yeah, that's good.
So no. But if you meet him, give him my regards. I've met him once or twice, but he might not remember me. But if you meet Julia, let her know that you've met me. She'll know.
Alright,
who I
will
am.
do. Where does she usually hang out?
The King's Hall. She
Alright.
lives in Storburn itself. The northern region is the old part of town.
Can we have her point out the King's Hall of all three
Yes.
of them on the map?
Oh, sure, yeah. Solvini's is if you cross the river. Gosh, I don't know how to point this out to you guys. It's right there. You see that little dot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's on the side of the river that we're currently on.
Yes,
Gage
that's
is marking
Solvini.
the dot. Gage and Brayton and then are marking the dot.
Benadryl is up here, so like just a little bit up. It's a fort. You actually saw it. Now that she's pointed out, you recognize it.
We're like, oh, that's what we passed.
Yeah. It was a pretty nondescript kind of military barracks that looked slightly bigger than normal. But it was also really far away, so the fact is, it's actually quite big. But it's not opulent. It's a,
Practical building.
yeah. It's like, this was the fort before Fort was made. Before Fort Troda was made, this was probably the fort. And the other King's Hall is located up here. So, it's about halfway down the peninsula.
Okay.
That's when the peninsula gets the thinnest. It's not the thinnest point, but there's a point where it gets kind of thinner. That place is kept a little bit more open. It's the old part of town, basically. And so if you are native here or live here, you probably live there. Other parcels have been redistributed for commercial use, basically. As they've been trying to get closer and closer to where the axles go. The fact is, actually, the inn is only where it is because it's right. It literally is against the GRE. Which also means it's very expensive.
Yeah.
In the middle of town. Oh, it's at that major crossroads, by the way. The inn you were at,
The axle.
the axle. It's literally at the crossroads.
Okay. Okay.
That northern road, I don't have a name for, but you do know that if you follow it, you'll hit Richmond.
We turn around.
If you'd like. You do know Richmond is a major exporter of wood and timber. A lot of that was going to Zok. Some of it was coming here. But a hell of a lot of the iron and metals they were mining was getting put down this way.
Got it.
So that's...
That's why
but...
there are 2 roads.
Yeah, that some of it is coming here in its raw form, but there's not a lot of foundries here. It's better for them to smith it up there and then send down the raw material. A lot of their stuff, you'll get this from talking to Penelope a little bit. Truson makes a lot of the raw material.
Yes, that was mentioned.
Yep. Truson is where the foundries are. So that's where the iron, the steel, the bronze, all that gets made up there and shipped in ingot form down here. There are forges down here to reshape and cut the metal. And that road is used to take in the chips and the... basically, as you take away metal, you're just left with more metal. It needs to be melted down again. The road is to take those scraps back up to Truson. Very few make it all the way to Truson. There are foundries along the way. But for medieval times, the biggest thing you need is a high amount of heat, and there are very few places where that's accessible in the naturally in the Empire. Truson has one of those places. You don't know what it is, but obviously they have the power to make metal consistently in high volumes. I mean, because you can always make like a couple ounces if you want to just make your own fucking charcoal and get some bacteria. Iron bacteria.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they don't eat the iron; they pull it out, and it's a byproduct. And anyway. Any other questions about Stuhlman?
None that I have.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Do we understand the socioeconomic issues with Stuhlman?
Not a lot of land, a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Potential heavy ethical implications in the form of where the heck is this power coming from? The fort dude's got some room, but doesn't want to stop having fort because fort.
Mm-hmm.
Person's raising prices more.
Yeah. Like, just like, no, you're poor. Leave. Stop it. Stop being here.
Stop being poor.
No, I don't care if you're poor. Just don't be poor and here.
Yeah. They're a very, very old noble family. They have a lot of power. As you've learned over this past couple times, native, technically all kings rep share power.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that are inherited culturally have more power and more say. Basically a first among equals kind of thing. You learned a single line there that was actually meant to hold a lot of weight. They, or maybe this
Two
was
of them are blood.
2 of them are blood, both the Benadryl side and the Salvi side. Salvi side, this might have got lost, or I may have mentioned this. They are the oldest continuous family king's rep in the Eastern Empire.
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay. They are, like, as far as lineages go, theirs is the longest. It's been a single continuous family heritage. Gives them a lot of cultural weight and power and legitimacy. The Benedrids have been there for a couple hundred years, which is good. It's technically longer than Richmond's been alive, a city. And so the Cantuses themselves, they're nothing to... They're newcomers compared to the Benedrids, and the Benedrids are babies in comparison to the Minovids. Minervini. They haven't always been the Minovinis. They've been in maybe about 200 years. The family's continuous. The name has changed. The Townsends, on the other side, have been Townsend for 400 years. Kind of like there's been the Windsors for like a couple hundred years.
What were the Minervinis before?
Oh, a couple different ones. I haven't really made it out. It wasn't gonna be a plot point, but I can make it one.
Just curious.
You know what? That actually should come. I will give you that. I will let you know that the Minovinis incorporated their land with the Empire with the 5th Emperor, and that was about 230 in the year 235. Yeah, 235. So the Empire came to them and said, "Join us," and they said yes. That's a super simplistic way of looking at it, but
They were like, join us.
you actually don't know if it was like with a big stick or they had, because they've done both. They Darwin knows this.
Yeah.
Initially the old empire was done by conquest. The old empire was just like, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're gonna take over. His son Aldridge expanded that twice as big by just saying, "Hey, we've incorporated and we kind of know what we're fucking doing. Do you want to be a noble
Anywhere
under
from
us?"
like battles to trades.
Yep. And like, "Hey, we'll give you good deals, or we'll give you like favored nation status, and recognize your legitimacy as long as you recognize us as the emperor and join us."
You run a kingdom like that.
And it very much works out as Aldrich doubled the land of the empire that his father made by conquering. And then the rest of the empire came over the next couple hundred years, and almost exclusively through talk, but not always, but almost exclusively through trade bargaining, and basically say like, it's just better to be with us.
Yeah, at that point they had a good thing going.
Yeah.
And other people could see that.
And this is part of the new empire where a lot of that is.
Yeah.
Old empire, it incorporates the conquering part and Aldridge's part. So like basically the first 80 years of the empire is one half of the empire. And that's the old empire. And then there's the rest.
Which is, kind of like how, like, when we wound up with, like, the southern bit of New Mexico,
Yeah.
ages after the founding of the country.
Very much so. Or just all of the Louisiana Purchase. I'm just like, "Hey, do you want this?" Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that.
For cheap, yes.
Fucking Alaska? Or just like, "Do you want all this land?" And like, "Yeah, I'll let you $50 for that."
Yeah, right?
But,
Mine.
God, no, the Louisiana Purchase, the funniest part about that is, like,
It was an open door.
like, the guy that they bought it from basically offered the entire region for, like, about what they were willing to pay for.
A state.
No, like, specifically where New Orleans is.
Oh, yeah. They got New Orleans with land. They wanted New Orleans.
Yeah.
And, by the way, New Orleans is still a major shipping hub.
Mm-hmm.
It was truly a major shipping hub back then. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, this is a very old family. And even in empire years, they're a very old family. That, unfortunately, gives them a lot of weight. Or fortunately gives them a lot of weight, depends on if they're your enemies or not. So she explains that like, "Hey, this is a really old family, and that's that." You have you have Duke.
Benadryl.
Nope,
Duke Townsend. And Benadryl. Thank
is
you.
the place.
Duke Townsend is a cautious individual. She mentions that he's on the older side.
Perhaps too cautious.
Yes, he doesn't want to stretch and stray. He's there. You came up on that side. It's very open and it's not very well packed. It's kind of like just a nice, quiet village that just continues for miles. It's very well organized, very well structured, very nice and calm place.
And he doesn't want to compromise that.
Yeah, you can see where like, I have a thing going and we do it right.
And the people who live there like it.
Mm-hmm. Problem is that there's a lot of people that want to live here because Stillborn has a ton of opportunity and can support a tremendously large population. They are the mill of the empire. About half of all flour in the empire comes from this town. Penelope would mention that. Like, this town is the mill of the breadbasket of the empire. Partly that's why the fort's here. Or vice versa. The fort and the town kind of grew up at the same time. And like, oh, we can invest in infrastructure here because we have the fort. And the fort says, well, we have stuff to protect here, so we got infrastructure. And they grew together.
I imagine they definitely have signs at like all major entrances saying that, hey, look at how much we have.
Yeah.
Or
They're
grain.
very proud of it. They're very much just like, hey, you like that food you're eating? Guess what? We made it.
You're welcome.
It's a part of pride of like this is a beating one of like the beating hearts of the empire, especially the Eastern Empire. This produces a fuck ton of food. It's outproduced only really by the capital, and it's because of these waterways, that this conjuncture of these two major rivers, and it has always been a major powerhouse. It's probably recently in maybe a couple hundred years become really big, but that's mostly just technology advancements. That's not necessarily because they didn't want to. But yeah, it can support a huge population. It doesn't have the room for it. And it needs the population to run the mills and the machine shops and the craftsmen. This place has a lot of power and can make a lot of things. You need literally the limiting
They
factor
need
right now.
people, but they're pricing people out of living anywhere near here.
At least the neighbors are.
Yeah.
And the problem is, Storburn is like, Julia's in a hard-pressed state. Julia is looking at like, I have all this room. The more room I give to commercial, the more stuff we can do, the more people, because we have tons of overhead.
She needs residential area. She doesn't have any.
Yep. She's got a whole lot of capacity to fill and no place to put it.
Yeah.
The limiting factor is people.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, but she's elected, right?
She's elected.
And the other two are not.
Yeah.
That's the other power imbalance that's happening here.
And then you have the general.
Right.
He owns a small but insanely powerful portion of the peninsula. He's got a little bit of room, as you mentioned, but he doesn't get a lot of room. But they have a very good reason to be here, and he answers to the Emperor. He is the general and commander of the Eastern Empire. He is 3 from the top.
And he doesn't really care about Julia's problems.
You don't know that. You just know that, like, where his position is he's a king's rep because he technically runs land.
Right.
And runs enough land. But
well, he doesn't want a bunch of buildings to pop up in his sightline.
yeah, he's got a lot of things to worry about.
He doesn't want to compromise the fort's effectiveness.
Mm-hmm. He has very clear and obvious goals. I run this fort to protect this town for the greater good of the Empire. And fundamentally, you can self-derive all his decisions back to that goal.
Yeah.
It's not a very, like, hidden motive here.
No.
This is very much of, like, why do you exist? Because this is where wheat comes from. Flour comes from.
Yeah.
And it feeds everyone.
There are definitely ways to convince him that helping Julia is in his best interest, but at the moment, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, and maybe you guys can influence that, or you can move on. It's one of these opportunities. This is one of the more political intrigue kind of things. Like, this place is in an equal balance right now. Of these people need something, and these ones are holding steady.
Yeah.
You can walk away, or you can engage. And you have to gauge anyway because of your own goals, but you don't have to engage.
Yeah, we wanted to talk to like the druids and stuff, but
Yeah.
we're trying to wait for Sadie.
But this is what Stolben offers for you on a political field.
Yeah.
And then we bring the kobolds, and then we're like, oh god, now we have 3
Well, and
times as many people.
That's the other thing. Like, our investment is with a group that may or may not even be here.
And if they are here, where are they going to fit?
Yeah, that's the important
Richmond
part.
had room. Stolben doesn't.
Well, if they're here, where are they now?
And if they are found out and they've made room from here, is it going to be room fit for enough people? Are they pushing themselves? Are they overpacked?
Nobody knows. We don't know.
You won't know until Michael gets here.
Yeah, we're kind of the two things we really want to investigate are we're missing both people for them.
I don't help with that.
That's a bit.
Let's
that's
go
a bit
do
of
a quest.
unfortunate scheduling.
The good news is, you also have the Adventurers Guild.
Oh
Which
yeah, we could go get a quest.
yeah,
We got an
it's-
hour. We can do a quest in an hour.
Mhm. But yeah, this is where Stolben is.
You can also go to the magic shop.
Tiny quest. Oh yeah. Oh, we can go talk to alchemists
Mhm.
or artificers.
Artificers.
We can shop. We can spend an hour shopping.
Very much so.
That's
Yeah,
what
there's
we do.
tons. Oh yeah. So a lot of things get made here, and it turns out when you make a giant warehouse, sometimes you don't need all the warehouse. You just need most of the warehouse. So you end up like sub-renting part of it out, and that becomes a little shack, and then you forget that you actually own that and stop paying for rent. Anyway, it builds and builds and builds on top. So there are workshops all over Stolben, in the randomest of places. I'm just like, why are you here? Well, it had space. Just like you're 30 feet above 2 other shops, and one just makes tackles. And I'm just like, yeah, he does a great trade, man. I wish I could be up his level. What do? I make crucibles. It's like just crucibles, and honestly, I can't keep up right now. I need people. But yeah, it's a whole lot of that. The limiting factor is people right now. But no, this is a craftsman's paradise. Anything and everything is made here, and all of the raw material you could ever want comes in by the ton via barges.
I would very much feel not safe working under a place where crucibles are made.
It just needs a whole lot of fucking pressure of graphite, and just. Okay, there we go. But yeah, this is Stulben.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like the Pinnacle and Shriek stuff, like I kind of fast tracked it a little bit, but I also want it very clear for the recording.
Yeah.
That way, people can come in and go like, "Hey, this is the issues."
Yeah.
We might leave meeting the people until next time when we have more people.
I think we're gonna shop and maybe look at quests
Yeah.
Mhm.
to fill out this session because
Yep.
we're missing people.
So you go to the shop recommended by Lady. We'll actually go back to brunch real quick and
Oh
just.
yeah, brunch. The thing we're eating.
It's been about 2 hours. She's given you like a
That's
complete.
a heck of a good brunch.
Well, she also gave you like a political breakdown of like, hey, this is like. By the way, my hometown has issues. Like we're really good, and I'm really proud of it. But guess what? We don't have homes. We don't have enough homes. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's just like we need.
The housing market's in disarray.
Yeah, we need people. You do get the full name of every major player in town. You get General Johanna Breacher, King's Rep of Stulben, Gerarda Paps, King's Rep of Salvi, Lady Vilma Meravini,
Is it Vilma or Velma?
Vilma,
Okay.
and King's Rep of Benadryl, Duke Marth Townsend. I never gave you his first name.
That's not gonna fit. It's fine. I'm not gonna be able to read that later. That's why that's your map, sir.
This has been just been playing literally horse clompings for
Oh, no.
an hour.
Some good,
I've completely tuned it.
some
out.
good horse clip clops happening.
I did not realize that there was background music.
I roll for
I'm-
horse
it was
clip clops.
really-
I roll a 30.
I'd like to think it's Roger with happy feet in the
He's
background.
dancing.
Yeah.
It
Having
was
a good
so
old time.
fake.
Having
and
fun
I'm just
with
like, I like it being
just
this movie.
Roll for horsey clip clop.
Here we go.
14 for horsey clip.
Oh, Roger does a good horsey
Yeah,
clip
then some
clop.
good clip clops.
I roll. Wow, that's 2 3s and a 5.
So, you guys head up back into. Penelope will see you off, and I was like, well, if at this point she understands that you are meeting Carpenter's Workshop, or meeting with the King's Reps,
Yeah.
and he goes like, if you do have their ear, if you could speak on our behalf and figure out maybe seeing somebody, an outsider, might be able to give a better idea of what to do.
For her.
But feel no pressure. You know, we've been here for a very long time. We'll make it through this as well. That being said, I actually have a few bit more work to do, and I actually live quite close to here, so I think I'll just head straight home. But for now, if you want, I paid for your stay at the Axle for the next 3 days. Please use it to your benefit. And if you truly ever need anything, you always have a friend in Stulben.
That was my kind of you.
Much appreciated.
Hope we'll
Thank
see
you.
you around again.
Hopefully.
Till we meet again.
Thank you. And take care of yourselves. And if you... Midwestern goodbye. Anyway, she
Yeah.
heads out.
Bye!
Oh, at some point during brunch, the name of our group comes up.
Yes.
So that if she is talking to anyone of import in Zoc or Richmond, she can bring that up.
Will do.
Let's introduce ourselves.
Richmond.
She got all your names and your...
Sparky always tells people too much.
yeah. Well, names in the name of the group.
Sparky
isn't it
always
very-
tells people too
You okay, Brett?
I've got just scuzz on my phone that I'm getting out. But I'm listening.
Okay, I'm changing this. This is I prefer the horse quick pops.
Puppies? He yelling.
He's like, where's Sadie? I miss Sadie's lap. Sadie's lap is the best lap.
He really does like Sadie's
I like the idea of us going to like King's Rep and we're like, guys, an undead horror is coming. Also, the housing crisis.
These are equal problems.
And they're like, cool. We know. Why are you coming to
About
us?
we
Face off its fucking time!
I was like, I'm already fixing it.
This is where I wanted to meet you, Darwin!
Yeah, but Ty's solution to the housing crisis is just to kill everyone.
And it's effective.
Unemployment drops to 0!
There'll be plenty of housing once I empty every last one of them.
It's like Thanos' solution to overpopulation. Okay, just postpone the problem for 50-ish years, I guess.
Longer than that, but yes.
Kitty cat.
Oh god, that reminds me of something, actually. The Thanos problem answer.
Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway,
Okay, so,
so we end brunch.
yep, you guys are now in Salvia. Sorry, not Salvia.
Salvi.
Salvi. The Salvi region progresses for quite a while out, but that's not really important. The important bit is the stuff you see on the map.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, everything on this side of the Vodi River is Salvi for all intents and purposes as far as that map is concerned. For most of the space near the main road, the GER, it's opulent houses. Very nice, very wealthy. Something you didn't get beforehand, but Penelope would have mentioned, is that in this area, against the combined currents of data, using running strength. No, Oh, my cosmology trade qualify. Many of the wealthier citizens of Strulband and the other parts of the empire have grand country estates in this area. So a number of these estates are owned by royals and wealthy individuals from across the empire. Strulband is a nice place to visit, basically, and has a lot of land and is very legal and always has been kind of this destination place for several hundred years now for the wealthiest of the empire. This includes a lot of unseen luxuries and other things like that that you might not be privy to unless you were royal or noble in the empire. If that was your background, you would know more here.
And we all come back as tiefling bard nobles of the Empire.
Cool.
Alex is like, that's a game I wanted to run.
That would be very much of like, we don't leave Stulben. It's here in the capital. Like, we would never have gone to Richmond. No, Cantus. Because Cantus is super fucking wealthy. Because he fundamentally owns that city.
Not because we're a bunch of bards. We can play weird shows on like every little town on the way.
Oh, yeah.
And get into a just mess of trouble.
We're all like the rich kid noble that got kicked out of the house for spending his allowance not right.
I still get my allowance. I just
We're all
get
trying to
less.
regain our honor by capturing the Avatar.
Just I got kicked out
We
for
are
playing
not
drums.
cosplaying
I'm gonna
as
get
fucking
back in
Zuko.
by playing the best drums they've ever
that
heard.
You can't kick me out. I own this manor. But yeah. So, shit. Where were we? Oh yeah. So a lot of these estates, by the way, are empty.
Most of the year.
Most of the year, and not like empty. They have servants who maintain these grounds.
They're
yeah,
vacation residences.
exactly. And this is old English kind of estates. So these estates require like 50 people to run them. They have houses and stables and sometimes personal blacksmiths and other things just to run the manor house. It takes an army to run one of these things. Those people who live there usually live in the manor house or adjacent buildings, but they're further back. They also, near the GR, they're a little bit more structured. So you have like walls and gated and stuff like that, and trees, and it looks very, very nice. But as you get further and further out, and this is mainly issued on the bigger map that you come to when you get back to the bridge, you can see there are plots of land, kind of arbitrarily blotches, all across that big section to the south. And those are manor estates. They're quite widespread. They have a lot of room in them, and some are more agriculture, some are more natural kept. It's whoever owns it decides what to do with that land. It is very much do as you please kind of thing by the richest and wealthiest of the empire. That is who lives in Salvi. And that's who, from what you've heard, Mayor Vinia wants to live in Salvi. Okay. You cross the bridge and you're back in Stillburn. You're in about halfway up it. On the GER, you come to the crossroads and start heading up and following the map. You don't take long. Again, this Stillburn has a little bit of a claustrophobic feel to it, especially those of you that have been born out in they're used to wide fields, the open desert, the plains of the north.
The open skies.
The open skies.
Being able to just go.
Yeah, just walk down major roadways and stuff. You actually probably feel most comfortable, you and Sparky. And probably a little bit of Vanya, but it's not nature enough for her. This is all brick.
Maybe if the town is static.
It's a different sort of uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
She's fine with the closeness of it, but it's all stone.
The crowd's not the problem.
But it's packed in here. It is elbow, shoulder to shoulder, constantly. Things are moving and changing and stuff like that. And unlike Zoc, where you had this flow of traffic that was almost like a beating heart with the tide, to and from the harbor, of like when ships came in, when ships went out, when ships came in, when ships went out. It was like a beat and it was a flow. It was like active. This is very much like I wasn't planning on moving today, but I am because people 3 doors down need space. And just like it, you can feel the crampedness in here, the elbow to elbowness. The like, there's no place to like stretch your arms too much.
High alert at all times for our stuff getting stolen.
Oh, sure, yeah.
High alert for Sparky being stolen. Like,
just
holding
Okay.
his hand,
Put him in
making
the car.
sure,
See,
make sure he doesn't go anywhere.
The problem is,
We're not
if
gonna
someone
lose
tried
our
to grab Sparky, Sparky would just electrocute
Yeah,
him.
no, less so kidnapping, more so I don't want to lose Sparky in the crowd.
Like he
I
We're
feel
just
like he's
avoiding,
the easier. Yeah,
we're
that's
just
what I'm-
avoiding the murder
that's what I mean.
charge.
I will say,
No, he can still get regular loss.
Yeah,
without
that's
a
what
permit, carts aren't allowed on these streets. They
Okay.
are that packed.
Was there someone at the axle we could board our cart?
Yes,
Okay.
they have boarded your
So
cart.
did we leave that there?
Yes.
Cool. That's fine.
This was just an element.
Sparky can on your shoulders though. If we're worried about him.
I would recommend that. Yeah.
Oh,
The-
does Roger come with us?
You are not allowed to take Roger down this road.
Damn it. He's on my shoulders.
Roger is on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Horses and people riding horses for the sake of just riding horses for convenience, not along a lot of the roads here. They have literally, the packing prices, the housing prices in this place has gotten to the point where fundamentally roads are for people to move to and from workshops, and bigger roads are for getting materials to workshops.
You may or may not see like mounted guards, but that's it.
Stuff like that. And you find a lot of one-ways, especially coming from north to south, south to north. Material comes in, raw material, the carts get packed up and then sent back north to get shipped out. And they either go north or east or west. But raw material has a way in, finished goods have a way out, everyone else, good luck. Deal with it. This is the first place you've seen walkways, skywalkways. Between a lot of the buildings going north that aren't crossing main roads, are what used to be main roads that could hold, like, there were multiple cart width wide. You find a lot of walkways of going like rooftop to rooftop or shed to shed, going up and down this place. And this place has been built on top of each other multiple times. You can see the oldest buildings made of the thickest, roughest stones holding these bases, becoming the bases for these rather large buildings, going sometimes 4 or 5 stories up, made of brick, reinforced stonework and other things going up, and you get newer and newer materials as you go up the floors. You also get more glass, just a byproduct of advancements in agriculture and glass making and technology. Glass becomes cheaper and more clear, so you actually get more windows the higher you go up. But yeah, it's a whole lot of this, and it's packed and it's tight and it's hard to navigate through. So yeah, Sparky being on your shoulders makes a lot of sense. Any other precautions about getting lost?
Against getting lost?
Separated, I should say.
Tanner wouldn't necessarily be taking any extra precautions.
I want to try to be as observant as I can
Yeah,
with everybody.
Like,
but
everyone
Okay.
on high alert, I think, is the...
Sure.
Yeah.
Sticking close to Gunmore, because you're probably the biggest?
Yeah.
So
6'5".
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the
I'm
beacon in the
6'5"
crowd.
and smoky.
Yeah, he's the beacon. The smoke goes up an extra
And-
foot that helps us find him.
And Sparky.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Sparky.
And
No.
there's
Lots of smoke in Sparky's face.
Oh my god, Sparky. Gunmore, turn it up!
No! It's to where everybody else doesn't get lost! Cast light on my horns.
This is our landmark.
Got it. Well, with that and your skills and other like that, but if you want, could you give me a perception check?
I can.
Should I also give you a perception check?
Can I roll a perception check?
You give me a disadvantage. You are a halfling, and this is a tight crowd.
I'm trying to keep watch for anyone taking
Stealing your
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah.
You can't see the whole party all at once.
Okay.
It's just too packed. You can pick a couple people and roll.
I guess me and Gunmore, because I'm assuming I'm near Gunmore.
I'll give you 3 people because
Okay.
you're a group of 7.
Me, Gunmore, and you don't look like you're carrying a lot of stuff. I'll pick Spark.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'll pick Vanya. Vanya looks like she's carrying stuff.
Okay.
Her dress is fancy.
There it is. It's made of flowers. What you get?
I got a 19.
Nice.
Is this still at disadvantage or just regular?
This would be regular.
Okay.
And also, if someone tries to rob me,
You're having-
I'm covered in bugs.
I get to
Yeah.
say the words.
Is
I'm a halfling. I get to
there
roll
anything
ones.
like?
There you go.
Do I get any mechanical benefits for being literally covered in bugs?
I would say
My
if I
rolls?
roll the
No.
random chance and it
You
lands
don't
on
know.
you,
Oh.
something will happen.
Okay, cool.
What you get?
What is my perception?
19, you navigate your way fine. As well as you're
Sorry.
keeping an eye out. You don't really see anybody. You see hundreds of people. That's
You
almost
see
the
too
yeah.
many people.
You see it all blending together.
And then like I'm not taller than hardly anybody, but if there's like more than one person between me and Gunmark, I'm just kind of elbow my way back in there.
Broad.
What you get?
Dirty 20.
Okay. You notice that as you're walking through this and going through and such, something you expect a little bit of, common thievery, in big cities especially.
Right.
You expect a little bit of underhandedness and stuff like that. Just
General pickpocketing.
crimes of opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a common thing. You actually notice something kind of interesting.
Oh, lack of crime.
Yeah. No,
Ooh,
there's
fancy.
less crime here,
Huh.
and
Uh,
you take
There's
a look.
big scary fort here.
yeah, fair.
Well, there's a couple things. There's the fort, for one thing, and they don't like it when you mess with this stuff. They consider it, it's like messing with the infrastructure, that it holds a bigger weight to it.
Yeah.
But 2, there's literally, it's so expensive to live here that if you're not here because you have a job and a purpose, there's just no room for you.
Everyone's here to work.
Yeah.
They're just literally
They've
no other people
literally
live here.
outgrown petty crime.
Oh, God.
Like
they
there's
don't-
no slums here. That's valuable land.
Oh, God.
That's good, but also kind of sad.
That's incredibly
Yeah.
sad.
No,
This-
good that there's no crime.
Well, yeah, but,
But
the
the
reason
reasoning.
is horrible.
Yeah.
There's not enough people living here. If you're
This-
here, you have a job and you have a place to be.
This is the projection of the 2008 housing crisis.
This is very much of look, if you live here because you're here and your job's here, and sometimes if you're living in Stillburn, you're living in the factory you work in and stuff like that, and you're there's a quarters there or a bunkhouse, and they're high efficiency housing where I live here, my family lives out in one of the villages that you passed, and I come here for a week or a couple months at a time. do my work, and then I go back home, which was a thing. It was a thing for a very long amount of time. Where like I go where the work is, but my family goes and stays and lives there, and I send home my paycheck back. And that seems to be kind of where this is that you're here to work, and you don't want to be here if you're not working.
You can't afford to be here if you're not working.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to stand on the sidewalk and be like, spare change, because, like, no, people are going to walk through you, and you're just going to get
Nobody has any spare change.
Well, they probably actually do. They make quite a bit of money here. They just send it back home.
Well, yeah.
And
That's why they
if
don't
you are on the sidewalk going, like, spare change, someone will pick you up and go, like, you're a body with hands. I need a job. I have
You need
work
a job?
Yeah. There is... the overhead for capacity is what it's called. For work. Is super higher than the amount of workforce. Everyone is paid quite well, and everyone gets a job. There's just not enough bodies. Like it's just super demand for workers.
Wow.
That is the bottleneck. And so, like there's no beggars here because everyone gets a job. If you'd be a beggar here, you would probably get kicked off because you don't want to work, and we don't have room for that.
Yeah.
And it's like you would probably be like they would pay you a handsome sum to fuck off, because we literally don't have the room for. They would give you so much food. Food here is so cheap, that cannot be underestimated. This place can support a massive population. They have food, and they have the production.
They don't have space to put all the bodies there.
Exactly. That is the bottleneck.
Okay.
Just like,
New plan. We build floating islands and fill them with tiny cottages.
Little Houses D&D edition.
Kobolds need to either solve the housing crisis or
The kobolds solve the housing crisis!
come up with a new form of transportation.
Or if they could extend the power line somehow without felling a bunch of mother trees, then you could expand further back
No matter
to the
what it is,
peninsula.
this is a problem for kobolds.
The kobolds can solve this.
Something. Yeah.
That's something you can look into.
But yeah, this is the.
It's a shame we can't go talk to the kobolds.
Just not right now. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, Michael just had to.
Yeah, Michael!
Just leave. Like we've built all of this up and just like, so we're moving on. Okay.
Very end of the session, we're like, and begin the next travel.
Alright, so there's nothing we can do here then, let's show off.
We're
Excellent,
gonna
just
buy
disband.
Gunmar's magic items and leave. Anyway, we go to the place
Yeah.
that she gave us the name of, but we don't actually have the name of.
Exactly. We'll call it the workshop for now. You enter, and it's you're really happy you have an address. Because the good news is this place is packed in a maze.
Nice.
But if you're a native here, it's like it becomes a sixth sense after a while of just like it's like give me the address, and it's almost like giving coordinates to a.
That's definitely a big city thing.
And it's just like, oh, it's 5th Avenue, okay.
But it's like giving coordinates to like a ship, like a quartermaster or something like that. I'm just like, oh, I didn't know what that is, and just like the address is just pinpointing where it is, like all addresses is, and just like, all right, you want to go this way, for 2 streets, take a left, go that for 4 streets, take a right, immediately take your first left, take your first right, take the second left, and it's like. It's a stream of info, but that is directly how you get there, the fastest way. And then you can go like, okay, how about the least amount of turns? And like, you go this way for 14 streets and take a right and go straight. Eventually, you'll hit a sign that says workshop. It's not that one. It's the second one. And it's like, do you want the long way or the direct way? And just like, can I have like a compromise? Like, no. That's not how
There
this
is no
works.
in between.
There is no in between.
You can have the fewest number of turns or a straight line. Decide. Straight line. Like Minecraft cards.
Do you want the tourist path or the native path?
Do you want the fast route or the straight route?
Oh, I meant more like fewest number of turns. This, or the straight line, which is
That sort of, okay.
yeah. Minecraft card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Diagonally.
Yeah.
So-
So, now I understand.
Anyway, either way, they like the good news is that everyone here is willing to help you because they all, as far as they can, you get this weird sense of camaraderie of like, we're all in this boat together, man. Like,
This is bad for all of us.
yeah, even the ones in like the good shit, like it was like the manager and stuff like that. Like, no, like I sleep beside my manager and shit like that. Like my foreman is just in that bed, and just like, look, we all suffer through this. This isn't good on any level, and just like, well, it's actually really good because it's tons of work. You get paid really well. You could literally do this for. It's in a different environment. It's a lot of work. It can support a lot of people, and it feeds them. Goddamn, like half the production here is just food and bite-based products. So yeah, you get to the workshop. It's a tiny hole-in-the-wall place, but it is in this small little nook, crammed alleyway that has a couple different shops in it of similar magical nature. You go to the one that she suggested. As you enter, you... So yeah, I guess this would be true. You immediately hit your head. As you realize that these ceilings go up to 6 feet.
Oh no, Denmark! Oh, you hit Sparky off of you.
He just walks across the building and he's like, come on.
Just down your back.
Can I roll to pick up Cat Sparky?
No, because I probably would going in behind you.
It's so packed here, he didn't have room to fall. He hit people
he
on the
went-
way
Yeah.
down.
He started crowd
He hit
surfing.
his face. Oh, you beat me to it.
Nope.
We lost Sparky.
And that was the last anybody ever saw of Sir Draconis.
They say he works in a factory now.
He's made himself up the
He
foreman
works
now.
in
You know?
a factory.
But yeah, you guys enter and you have to duck and anyone who's over 6 foot.
Fuck you. Nobody
Yeah.
else is
Yeah, so him.
No,
Yeah.
your beetle's just kind of scraping the ceiling.
No, I'm not that tall.
As you enter, this shop is packed. It is utilizing every single space for inventory or looks like things to fix inventory. It is both shop, workshop, and showroom all in one. The counter that the proprietor is at doubles as a workbench and has all of these apparatuses to hold things, magnifying glass, beakers of various solvents, glues, and other stuff. And behind the behind the counter, working on something right now is a gnome. And something that you've suddenly realized is that you've seen more gnomes in the last 15 minutes than you've seen in your entire life.
Excellent.
Gnomes not only good at artificing and as a culture aspect, don't take up a lot of room.
True. Very
This is
true.
not, this
They're
store's not big.
Technically, on average, shorter and less bulky than halflings and
Yep.
dwarves.
Halflings are stout.
Yeah.
And dwarves are stouter.
There's been a lot of gnomes in this city. You've been particularly taller
That's
than
funny.
everything you've seen here.
That's funny.
Like, I've got like a foot on the number of people that we...
In multiple directions.
Hello.
You've got up and across.
But yeah, you have seen a lot of gnomes here. This is almost an unofficial gnome city.
It's wild and
You've also seen a fair amount of halflings and dwarves too. But it's been... There's a lot of the smaller races
zero
here.
goblins. See, kobolds would fit in great here.
Oh yeah, height-wise, definitely. So you go up to her. She's wearing goggles. Has a apron on. Like
all kinds of chemical burns on it.
Yep.
Oh yeah, other things, and just like she looks up at you. She has big old spectacles on.
And my neck is like craned all the way down.
yeah.
I'm just looking
You're
at her.
struggling.
She has big, too thick blonde braids that just come out of it, like kept high, tight, and back. And so she has long hair, but it's all tight bladed and two giant braids to keep it nice and safe and out of the way. And she looks up at you, and she's obviously working on looks to be a thing of banded metal. And she's engraving things into it right now. It's bands and bands and bands of metal. Hi! How can I help you?
Hello.
Howdy.
I got two things.
You got something for work?
We have stuff.
Wait.
We have commissions.
Alright, I'm taking work right now. What can I get you?
Alright, and Gunmar takes out the lightning javelin.
Woo! Somebody did a number on that one. I'm gonna take a look.
Yeah, he did.
Oi! Shut up. Oh, this isn't too bad. It just needs a lot of resetting. Reseating. Oh yeah, I can get this done in a day or two.
Okay. And
I'll have to recharge a couple of the bits though. That's gonna take take some funds.
yeah. How much?
Let me take a look. Ooh, she gives it a praising eye and looks like, what do I have in store? Okay, I don't need to run out to get stuff. I can do it for about 100 gold.
Here.
Give a warning before you pull those out.
Now, these next ones, I need them to be, for lack of a better term, rebranded.
Edited.
They have very negative connotations in my
Terrible
home
history.
world, in my home down in this desert. We
Alright.
found them in a troll horde. Everybody here can attest to that, and people down in. Nah, I'm not gonna. I didn't mention them in Zok, so we found them in a troll.
We also had the ledger that they were referenced on, like the business
And
ledger.
we also have the business ledger that they were.
Manifest.
That
We have the manifest that they were registered on.
Alright. You found them up enough. Show me what they are.
And he takes out the boots.
Oh, I can see why you want to rebrand these.
Yeah. Being
She
in the
thought we were full of it.
Being in the desert, I've run into people wearing these same boots.
Oh, you've seen them.
Almost
Ooh.
sold to them myself. Luckily escaped.
No, you won't.
Oh, well then. Never mind. Gunmar does not say that, because that is not true.
I like the idea of the gnome saying that. Like, no, you weren't. Come on.
You're still here.
No, you didn't! Remember me!
No.
And that's
Oh
when
my
Gunmar
God.
committed murder.
No, the Ifritis,
That's what Gunmar tried
fire
to do,
genies, they take people as slaves. If people try to run away from them, workers for the Ifriti would wear these.
Yeah.
To help get them faster,
Okay.
as well as intimidate them, and they also use practically on the compounds themselves. They have less limitations when they're near the source of the Ifriti's power, so they can actually just fly constantly, fundamentally.
But, yeah.
Alright, that's... See, normally, not a big deal. Changing some color here, changing some stuff, that's not too hard. Ifriti magic's funky. It's not the cleanest thing. It's a little, it's more from the heart than the brain.
Yeah, elemental stuff is.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it's not the easiest stuff to change. I can give it my good old honest try. But I'll tell you right now, it's gonna cost you a pretty penny. And it might not work.
How much is a pretty penny?
To attempt it, I needed at least 300 gold.
Sparky might try to
300?
haggle.
And it might take multiple attempts.
Each
And-
attempt costing 300 gold.
It might change, depending.
We'll find out some more. Could be more, could be less.
Exactly. Ifriti magic is... It's not like the stuff I work with, and she points out different things around the room. You see, this is all calculated, mathematical, just enough what's needed to get the intended result. Ifritis draw upon a magical well of the planes themselves, the fire planes, and they can channel that. And then it's not always the most efficient process, but they don't have to be. Point I'm getting at is that if I fuck with these too much and break some of the magic, they just might not work.
Okay.
So there's a small chance that I could just break these.
Do you... And by no means do I mean this as an insult, I just don't want these broken. Do you know anybody in, the Empire that could change these?
Like a guarantee?
Yeah, for lack of a better term.
Sure, people at the capital. There are people that have been trained by Ifritis and other things like that, and other things, I've heard stories of great craftsmen all across the cities, but the capital is always kind of where they conjugate. They have the best craftsmen outside of Stillburn.
Alright. Well, then, for these specific terms, I will go ahead and... For these specific items, I will go ahead and seek business there.
Certainly.
Sorry, but...
No worries. I'd be careful about wearing them around here, though.
I will... I'm not stupid enough to wear them in populated areas.
You're stupid enough to bring them inside our walls. That's an automatic 3 years right there.
You make a fair point.
Mhm.
And that's a good information to know. Just
Yeah.
shoves them deeper into his pack.
Everyone who lives here is
Deeper
fundamentally...
into the bag of holding.
Everyone in here is an artificer and knows an artificer, and we all know what those are. Got any other magical items you need fixing? I got 1 or 2 things here for sale, too, if you look to be adventurers. Not to assume anything, but I gotta admit you look the part.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you got?
Oh, I got all kinds of things.
I have this
Here.
gun I found.
Here, bang!
No, there are no guns in my fantasy.
I do like the idea. No matter who she shoots. Gun bar.
Fail!
Bam, and it
I mean,
just
that's how
rockets
your
out a
curse
window all
works.
the way towards...
That's how the curse works.
No, it's like as long as we're within 10 feet of you. Just,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I thought the gun itself was just basically a
No.
fuck you in particular.
Someone hand me a sticky note and a pencil.
Careful not to take the bottom off one.
Okay.
No, because one of them has a
Yeah,
sticky
it's-
note that
it's
is the
yeah,
bottom.
it's labeled.
Yeah.
It's labeled. Alright. 3 of you roll a die. Any die, any number, and just give me the
12.
What?
10.
4.
Alright, that's total
18.
26.
Ah.
I rolled a d12.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
No, a totaling 3 dice rolls.
Okay.
You had 10, 4, 12.
I rolled the 10.
I rolled the 4.
4, 10.
Thank you. Don't take my double digits from me.
Too much.
You're never gonna see that.
Well, I see circles. I know what it says.
There you go. They'll always see that. Now he definitely will never see
Right
it.
on the other
Well,
side,
Wait.
and put it on your forehead, like over your
There
eyes.
you
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
Oh.
Fuck.
What?
Now you're a pirate. Sick.
My patch of missile attraction.
The recording is going to be very confused.
Alright.
Yeah.
I don't got... What I'm looking at right now you might like, but it won't be done for a day or 2. But I got this, and she pulls out an onyx figurine. And puts it down there. It is in the shape of a fly.
Ooh. Everyone looks at Darwin.
Right. What the fuck does this do?
Brain
It turns into a fly. I know that much.
We know.
Yeah.
Our characters don't
I like to
squat.
think that was in character. Like, see, alright.
No, I fully thought that was in
What
character.
the fuck was this?
It's just like.
Kind of do that. I'm just like, alright, I made this a while ago. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
And she like starts looking through her notes. And
Yeah. Yeah, you know how many projects an artificer is working on at the same time?
Just like, okay, this thing
Didn't
moves.
she say she wasn't done with
How-
it? Like,
how
when
low?
you-
No, the one she's working on right
Oh, okay.
this she pulled out from behind the desk.
Like, okay, so this thing moves. Let me go and figure out how again.
Yeah.
I made a tin soldier. Does this one attack you, or is this the toy?
That's
You're 10 or over, you'll be fine.
a nice thing to know.
Glow D&D Beyond. God damn it.
It's been having a day.
Yeah, it has.
Since the freaking shit ton of people unsubscribed from it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, there we go. Honestly, that should have no bearing on what I'm trying to do.
No, but their servers are just all over the place these days.
Their servers are having a stroke.
Figurine of Wondrous Power?
It's one of them.
Ebony Fly, here you go.
Ebony Fly. Thank you. You just go from that.
I'm just on the Roll20 site because it's an SRD item.
Yes,
I
it is.
just realized we completely stopped using the books.
Oh, my books? Or...
Like the rule books.
My backpack's
my-
heavy. My
They would all be
backpack
in-
was heavy, dude.
It's
No,
crazy how
that's fair.
this takes up so much less space.
I can
Yeah,
just
no,
get
but
my
like-
books over there. They're just in there. I just haven't got them out. You know what? I might go
We
get
used
them.
to use them intermittently.
Evan's
with, technology.
nostalgic.
I like them too.
I like them, but like,
I like them
They're
If I'm-
when we're having this
I
problem.
can't
I'm
Google
cramped
the
at a
DMG.
table-
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright, okay, I figured it out. So, this thing, this little Ebby statuette, when you say its command word, it turns into a giant fly. Horsefly. Can carry about 1 medium creature to maybe 3 small creatures, give or take. It'll be that way for about 12 hours. And, yep. It'll can transport you, you can ride it, you can do whatever you want with it. It's flying, goes pretty fast, it's pretty maneuverable as well. If it dies in that form, it turns back into a figurine for a week. If you give it the whole 12 hours, it turns it back for 2 days. A week I'm adding. But there you go.
Yeah. I know that's somewhere more along.
So I got that. Interesting. I made it for a commission and they never picked it up. So
Please get it out of my store.
if you like it, I can let you have it.
For how much?
That's a good question.
$2.
Because I know what I'm going to.
dollars.
It's
$2.
a rare item.
They
I
make
think.
money
It
off
is a rare
paper
item.
in some countries.
What? That's inefficient. Druids really
I
don't
like that
those
take on it, but it's yeah. Sources. That's what I want. Source.
Commit and eat the map.
No.
Gage and I should not be allowed to sit next to each other. That said, I'm not good sitting next to anyone, so.
Me and Gates had to be physically separated
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Evan's campaign because we kept jumping into pits.
I won't eat
I
Sparky's,
mean,
man.
Alex physically separated me and Ray.
We're far too gremlin-y.
Yeah.
Left to my own devices, I am too grim.
So it was commissioned, so I've already got paid for half of it. So I'll let it go for 6,000. Hey, on-demand mount.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Flying mount too.
Every 2 days.
6,263.
Mm-hmm.
What
12
else you
mount.
got? We pick stuff up in bulk, maybe we can knock some down.
Oh, I will get into it. Could I get another 2 dice rolls? Any dice, I just want the totals.
15.
You roll.
9.
I grabbed a 10 place die. Does
24.
a 70 count?
24 for the total.
24 total. Oh, okay.
I accidentally grabbed this 10s place die. Does 70 count?
It would have been a
It would have
7.
been 7. Oh, you know what? You guys might like this. And she goes, actually drops down off a stool, and you realize she was actually slightly elevated. She was sitting on a tall stool. She goes down, and she's even shorter than you expected. She goes around the counter, goes up to one of her walls, and is moving and shifting things. He goes, "It's here somewhere. I made it a while ago, but I know it works." And she pulls out a thing of chainmail.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Armor, ooh.
Have plate.
And
Probably is.
there it is. Ah! No, this is special armor. And she brings it back and she puts it down, and you can hear it as it hits the counter. That instead of hearing that clunk, 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 clunk of 1,000+ rings of metal,
You hear thud.
no, you hear
Ooh.
like silk.
It's fancy armor.
I was like, this took forever to do. But love it to death. I can resize it. Right now it is made for a dwarf. But
So it would
dude,
fit you best.
I can change the size of it. It'll just give me a day or two. But this is based off of a design that came out of the Alliance up in the north. This is called Elven Chain. It gives you a little bit of protection, even underneath regular armor. And you don't even need a proficient with armor. Anyone can wear it. Even you, pointing at Sparky. Yep. Yep. It's quiet. it's peaceful, and it gives you a little bit of protection, and you can wear it under armor.
With no armor.
Or with no armor whatsoever.
That would be terrible for Sparky, I'm gonna be real.
It is, so Elven armor is chain shirt armor, which is a medium level armor,
Yeah.
+1. It gives 2 other things. You do not need proficiency with medium armor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone can wear it. And 2, similar to Mithril, it doesn't cause disadvantage. Although I don't think it does anymore. I can't remember. It's chainmail. Nobody uses the chain shirt.
Chain gives you disadvantage on
Okay,
yourself.
this doesn't. That's one
No,
of the
it
big things
does
about it. Modest protection towards upper body, but allows the sound of the wings rubbing against one another to be muffled by outer layers. In this case, it's just such fine chain that it's like silk. Not only that, this has some mithril in it. And it's not pure mithril. This is not mithril chain. That's well expensive. But it is an alloy with mithril and steel and a little bit of this weird shiny stuff called aluminum. With a little bit of enchanting, it allows it to be resized as necessary, and plus it helps keep all these tiny little rings together. Because if you take a look, that actually isn't soldered. That's held together by, and she goes off a thing about like a way
Sparky
of,
is fascinated, I'm sure.
there's a mechanical way of basically like it's not welded, but it's as strong as a weld because you basically convince the two metals that they like each other a lot, and they want to stick together. But it's also not magnetic. It's
I can
weird.
resize it. Give me a day or two. Can you take half of the material out for the tiny one?
Oh no, just be straight to the point. Anyway,
Just
just
take
put
the
a-
corner and just kind of
Just put a bread
You
clip
gotta
on the
hold
back of it.
shift while you do it.
Freaking like Homer after he got liposuction.
Oh god.
okay.
Expensive.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
really good, and anyone can wear it, even people that aren't good with armor. So it's got some advantages. It is pretty pricey though. It took me a long time. I will let it go for 16,000.
There's another 0 on that number. Okay.
Um,
I can never get that straight in my head.
so it'd be +1 chain shirt.
It's just
Yeah.
+1.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, chain shirt. Chain shirt is armor as well. It's like a 12 or something, plus dex.
I don't think
The actual elven chain itself, I think, is just
It's just a
it's
+1.
just a +1.
It should be chain shirt armor. Chain shirt is a
Hang
form
on.
of
I'm
armor.
just gonna equip it to Tanner real quick.
No, so elven chain just gives you +1 bonus.
Yeah.
It-
Elven
no, it-
chain's actually a thing.
No, it is. Elven
Yeah.
chain is a thing, but a chain shirt is just a form of medium armor.
Okay. Yeah.
It's medium. It's chain shirt is a medium armor, plus it's a +1 chain shirt that anyone can wear.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It does say it's a chain shirt, so you would get chain shirt AC from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanner's AC wearing the Elven chain is 16
Which, what is your dex mod?
+5.
Yep.
Yeah, so-
And so chain shirt is 13 plus cap 2 because it's medium armor, plus the 1,
So 16.
which would be 16.
So Sparky would get a +3. No.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
cap out at a +3 with this armor,
Right.
basically. So 13.
I don't know what Sparky's dex is off the top of my
If,
head.
if he's got 14
It's
dex,
positive.
if he's got 14 dex, it's capped. So
Yeah.
So yeah, this would give you a 14 straight, plus any from dex up to 2.
yeah, that's where the
Yeah.
if he has 14 dex, that's the highest your AC can get with this.
Would it interfere with Sparky's magic?
No, 16. Because you get the 13 from the chain shirt.
No, the
Plus
dex
1.
score of 14, not AC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he would need a dex score of at least 14
Yes.
to have a +2 to get 16.
Yes.
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 We all got there in the end.
But no, that's not really a thing in 5e though. It's more of a 3rd edition thing.
If I take off the Elven chain, my armor plus is still 15. Naked, apparently.
+5 from dex and no armor bonus.
Oh yeah. So it would go from 15 to 16, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I put it on, I go to 16.
But if you have like studded leather, you have 8 like
Oh, wearing my
7.
studded leather and my cloak of protection, I have 18 AC.
yeah.
I am not easy to hit.
Yeah.
But
Not
Sparky,
impossible
who
to
has
hit.
no proficiency, might be interested.
Yes.
Yes.
It's just a matter of I don't know how
That-
much party fun
I
we
don't
have
know what
yet.
our party funds are. And that's
Oh,
a lot
It's
of money.
also 9. Oh,
It is
I
9.
You can look.
I actually can look, and you have like 30,000, not including
Yeah.
the gem and stuff like that.
Um,
You guys can talk and take the next week to look.
Can we?
think about it.
What
I
other
just-
magic items does she have so we can talk about the whole inventory? Or is that it?
I'll just
Um,
post a message in the player chat for this.
Look, I have access to a lot of these things, and I wasn't really sure how to sort them. What I did is I used Xanathar's. You know how they split all the levels into minor and major?
Yeah.
All the minor ones, to a degree, should be like reference the Xanathar's minor list from rares down.
Mm-hmm.
All of those should be accessible.
Okay.
To a degree or not, I have the right to veto. I know
Yes.
one of them is like an 8th level spell scroll. No.
Right. Yeah. You're right. An Ethereum 8th level.
Yeah, no, because minor also just kind of blanket includes consumables.
Consumables, a lot of the
Yeah.
potions on that. So, like, ask, but I reserve the right for those ones.
So just
But-
look through the Xanathar stuff.
Look for the Xanathar's minor level list, and fundamentally you'll have access to most of those. But take a look at the major items.
Okay.
The major items on the rare list on Xanathar's, that's what I'm pulling these ones from. And some of them will be available and stuff like that. What I'll do is I'll basically do a modified version of the week-long thing, where you guys can seek out... you won't have to do it for a week, it would be like a day's work, but you would still have to, like, spend the 100 gold plus 100 gold for every additional level to find the item.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just navigating Sturburn. Sturburn is in a maze of a city.
Got it.
But you could probably find almost every rare magical item here, either having been made or traded. But you would have to find them. And instead of taking a week, it would take like a day. So it'd be like a downtime activity. And just like the week, you can spend extra gold up to plus 10 total for 100 gold plus to help, grease the wheels, ask the questions, and
Yeah, I don't think we're
give
that
you-
rich yet.
yeah. But if it's something you truly need, and I am rolling on the Xanathar's table. But just like the Xanathar's table, you guys are persuasive.
Yeah.
Once you find it, you can persuade to try to get it cheaper.
Yeah.
Why was 6K?
6K.
Yep.
6K, 16 for the change.
Yep, no, I remember the 16. I just.
And remember, max, if you succeed, you get half. We're
Yeah.
doing it very simple here. You either get nothing or half. It's like no difference or half
Yep.
is what
Yeah.
I meant. So, trying to keep it simple and straightforward.
You
but-
get nothing. You stole fizzy lifting drink.
I will look at the lists.
Alright, so, we'll have a bit of a casual, session. A little bit of,
Well, the major plot was
Chilling.
two people who weren't here.
Alright, I have sent a message regarding shopping to the player chat, so.
Yeah, cool.
but yeah,
We'll
so
talk.
take a look at those lists. They're in Xanathar's. And Xanathar actually has an extended list, so I would recommend doing that. And, basically, as I mentioned, rares, minor, down, fundamentally everything. Though with the right to veto. And then take a look at the major items of the rare table, and you can find one. You could spend some time to find one. You would have to spend at least 100 gold in a day, but you could find up to, like, I would say 2 or 3 items a day, but each item requires its own 100 gold level of investment.
Evan's reaching critical mass on his dice tray.
Nonsense.
You have a whole set that's
Yeah.
not even in there, Evan.
Absolutely.
Ah,
I
weak
could
sauce.
fit it in here, but
Weak
that's where my
sauce.
cards go, unfortunately.
Yeah, put them on the cards.
Oh.
So, something to keep in mind and all that. Yep.
I don't know what my brain was doing when this word came up, but Scoiltila.
Oh, that's the name of the tribe.
Name of the tribe. Got it.
Oh, yeah, Squelthid.
Squathay. Yeah.
Also, I did a Google Translate on that earlier,
Mhm.
and it was really funny because when I told it, like, translate from Irish to English, it said, hut school.
Hmm.